was waiting on you. I was stalling for you. That's what a good partner does.
I liked it.
Suk was bloviating about something over there, and so I had to.
I was bloviating.
I had to stretch.
I was bloviating to the fan man. Me and fan man often bloviate. I was bloviating. Oh my gosh!
What happened?
Some little league kid just he. I don't know.
Should you be watching Little League World Series?
He thrusted. That was very uncomfortable. Some big chubby kid just had a double, and then he pelvic thrusted. I wasn't prepared. I'm not prepared to see 12-year-old chubby kids thrusting. That was sorry. It caught me off guard. It was like, whoa.
Is the Little League World Series later than usual?
I don't know.
Doesn't this feel late?
I have said many times, and I get a lot of blowback on it, but I do not understand the Little League World Series. I find it creepy. I'm not a huge fan. I appreciate what the kids are doing. Good for them. It's a cool moment, but
sure. But is this late? Like, isn't?
I think it usually
because they got to be back to school soon,
right? So I think it usually wraps up by the end of August.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought it was like July, dog days.
I think it's August because I think that you've got to most of these kids and teams have to play through all these different qualifying tournaments that start at the small county level and then expand to bigger regions. So I think they start that in June and it gets wrapped up by August.
All right. Well, I too don't care about it and probably won't watch much of it. And so there you go from your sports guys.
Sports.
Right yeah.
I just think it's weird. It's cool for kids, but I find
what isn't weird?
I find it weird. What?
Can I tell you something that isn't weird?
Tell me.
By the way, big show today.
Huge.
I have to tell you guys.
Enormous.
It's a big show.
Are you going to crotch chop too? Are you going to pelvic thrust?
No, Asachi doesn't crotch chop, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're
okay?
classy.
That's right.
It's
Asachi. We keep it
You're more of a twerking sort of brand.
That's right. Asachi twerk brand.
Asachi gyrates.
I like that, yeah. It's sexy. You know what you do? Asachi lambadas. Because that's
right.
The forbidden dance.
Fluid movements.
Yes.
What was I going to tell you?
I don't know.
Big show.
Big show.
Joey's on. He's back. 5:30. Final story time.
Yeah.
Because Football Friday begins next week.
So we got what, 7, 8, 9 more sleeps? 8 more sleeps? How many more sleeps?
Well, let's look. I always have to look at the iCal. Is that bad?
Yeah, probably. Because it's next Saturday, right?
3, 4,
so that'd be what,
6,
8 more sleeps?
8 more sleeps.
8 more sleeps.
Yeah.
We're here.
Florida State, Georgia Tech. Okay, so we're going to talk to Joey at 5:30. And then very exciting, Big Suit gets to bounce because it's Foo Friday.
Yes, and
he's going to the Foos.
Well, I wasn't gonna bounce, and then it turns out there's a stupid noise ordinance at Providence Park.
We talked about this.
I understand
just the other
that,
day.
but I didn't realize that there was going. My original plan was not. Anytime you go see a big show like this, the band doesn't go until 9. But now with the noise ordinance, the show starts at 5:30, which means the Foo are probably going to go on by 7, maybe 7:30 at the latest.
You can't be bothered with Club 1080.
No,
let's get you to the venue.
I got to get out there. I got to pregame. There's things that have to happen.
Right.
I've got to stalk Dave Grohl.
Right.
Operation Dave Grohl best friend. I mean, there's things. I got to meet my people. There's meet and greets.
Understood.
I got things.
Understood.
I've got responsibilities.
It's Foo Friday.
Yes.
And so you're only going to get so much of Souk today.
Well,
Well, actually, he's going to take it all the way to the club.
That's right.
Which is pretty brave.
Exactly.
Because, dude, it's going to be you better rush down there.
I'm a little fired up right now. Even though I have fought the Foo many, many times, I've never won. I've tried. It doesn't work.
Well, this is going to be.
Get it.
Boy, I am with the listeners. That needs to go away.
It's a lot. We need like 6 less gets.
What was I going to tell you?
I don't know.
Well, it's going to be a cool show. I mean,
yes.
At Providence Park, first concert there in 20 years.
I'm pretty fired up.
I was watching the news this morning, and they were showing the stage and everything, how they have it set up is kick-ass.
Yeah.
People were lining up at 8 this morning. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, there's a buzz. Now, I will say that it will be a little sad for me because I have seen them now, I don't know, 20-ish times, 20, 25, somewhere in there. We're well into the double digits, having seen the Foo for me, and this will be my first with a different drummer, and that will be a little odd.
Yeah, Taylor Hawkins.
That will be strange. And I'm sure that they will address it at some point and all that. And a lot of the new album is about obviously that. And there may be a moment or two where I get a little emotional.
Well, it's going to be great, and we expect a full Foo Friday report on Monday.
Yes.
From you.
Yes.
But most importantly, we are bearing the lead here. What I was going to tell you, what isn't, I don't know what word you use to describe the Little League World Series. What isn't weird? What isn't bad? What isn't whatever?
I find it creepy.
Yeah, creepy. Well, you know what isn't creepy?
What?
Kenny Chesney on SportsCenter.
What?
It happened.
Why was he on? Well, he does.
You know why?
He's a big sports guy.
You know why?
What was he doing now? Was it Sean Payton?
First of all, now do you know Kenny Chesney at all?
No. I do not know him personally.
Good buddies with Peyton Manning, I believe.
He's good buddies with like everyone in the world of sports.
He seems like a great dude.
A lot of people like him a whole lot.
So they had him on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so incredibly dumb.
He is a huge sports fan.
Well, he's a Tennessee Volunteers fan.
Yes, he is.
And yes, they asked him his outlook for Tennessee Volunteers football this season.
And he
And
said,
that was the point where, no, I turned the channel. I had to turn it. I
It's
don't
kind
know
of
why.
the college game day bit, right? With the guest picker. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's get your thoughts on this.
I assume that's
Can we
why they had
please
him
turn
on.
this off?
Why? I think you should crank it up.
I'm getting emotional right now. Getting emotional.
Well,
about
it's an
that.
emotional day.
It is an emotional day.
The Foos, Travis Hawkins or Taylor Hawkins,
Travis Hawkins, yes,
Rest
that
in
guy.
peace.
That guy.
Wilson Love, Joey Harrington. I mean, dude,
Lock, cocked, ready to rock.
it's a kick-ass Friday.
Lot of juice. We got some genuine enthusiasm. We're all Wilson Love right now. We're bringing a lot of heat, a lot of passion.
Well, anyway, I wanted to tell you that Kenny Chesney was on SportsCenter, which I think means football is here. I think that's
Yes.
really the only reason they have him on, right? On SportsCenter.
I do not know if there is a celebrity that loves football more than that guy.
Really?
He loves football. I mean, he ends whenever he plays a show, he only plays football stadiums. And the whole thing at the end is he brings out a team helmet from whatever city he's in. He signs it and hands it to someone. And he's always got, like, he invites entire NFL teams. Like, anytime you go see him in Seattle, they bring out Seahawks. If you're down in Denver, they bring out the Broncos. I mean, he just, and I think a couple times he's even, he comes out to practices and like suits up, and he's a tiny little guy. I got to kind of meet him once. He is a tiny man.
He's a slight man.
Yes, but like I think he's really good friends with Sean Payton. I think, in fact, this year with the Broncos camp, they put him out there in his little hutch pads, and he wears a helmet and he runs out there and runs routes. Like he's living like fantasy camp, but in football.
We were talking about how tall Joe Rogan is.
Yeah.
And he's shockingly short.
Mm-hmm.
It listed 5'7", probably shorter.
Yeah.
How tall's Chesney?
He's probably 5'6". The only time that I got to,
Yeah, they have him at 5'6", so he's shorter than Joe Rogan.
and I don't know if he's 5'6", to be honest with
my
you.
God.
The one time we were gonna do a meet and greet years ago through the country station here, and we didn't get to do the meet and greet. We ended up being in the back where they were doing the meet and greet, and I got the walk by fist bump
From Kenny?
from Kenny.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to actually stop and talk to him. And even in cowboy boots, dude, it was
Him just little guy.
shocking how small he was. It was even my wife at the time, and you met my late wife. She was 5 foot.
Yeah.
You know,
She was tiny.
even she was a tiny Korean lady. Even she, after she walked by, she goes, "Oh, that was really cool. Wow, he's small." And when a 5 foot Korean lady is shocked by how small you are in cowboy boots, you're really small.
Well, isn't it weird when it's like the star of the show and he's that small?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm sure his shows are great.
Yeah, he puts on a great show.
I'm not a huge fan of his music,
Yeah.
but I know some of his songs. He's got some anthems.
Yes.
I mean,
Like Boys
dude.
of Fall.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, with that. Oh, believe me, I've heard that in concert, and let me tell you,
Oh, he plays that?
he plays it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to say a number of years ago, if I'm not mistaken, I think he closed with it.
Oh, come on.
I S you not. And there were grown men at Lumen Field in Seattle.
You know,
grown men
I
with
can see
tears
it.
in their eyes.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of putting their arms around each other, swaying. Hell
And then,
yeah.
and then there's just me dead inside being like, what is wrong with you people?
It's like when Eddie Vedder plays, does he ever play, well, Pearl Jam, but
Yeah.
does he ever play the Cubs song?
When he's in Chicago,
He hasn't played anywhere else? Because
No.
that's a great song.
it's a great song. Someday We'll Go All the Way.
Yeah,
No, that
Someday
is
We'll Go-
exclusively in
I
Chicago.
would love to hear him play that
Yeah.
if I saw, just like in Portland or whatever.
Nope, that is exclusively
Only
That is
Chicago?
only Chicago.
Damn.
And I don't even know if he does it anymore because, quite frankly, they went all the way.
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't that because the ending of that song is when that last winning run and I'm crying and covered in beer. Someday I will go all the way. Well, they went all the way, and he was there and was crying and covered in beer. So I think that probably retires the song because the whole song is about yearning for the one day that the Cubs finally win, and then they win. It might have ruined that song, but this grown men,
God.
tears in their eyes.
All right. Well, anyway, I had to tell you that Chesney was on SportsCenter, so
You remember this other banger that we had?
Oh, this is Coach.
what is this?
Coach.
This is a worse football song that he wrote.
Oh, yeah.
Coach.
Now, does he play this at shows?
No. This is garbage.
Even he knows it sucks.
Even he knows this is a terrible song. This might be the worst song ever
Why does he write sports songs?
because he loves sports.
Ken,
He loves it.
okay,
Because
but
sports are dripping in nostalgia, and so are concerts and music.
He loves it.
is there anybody else that writes sports music?
I'm sure.
I mean, like major acts that write, like Eddie Vedder has that.
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
I don't know. I mean, there has to be.
I mean, there's a reason. Okay.
Problem is that when you become like the biggest selling country act of like the last 20 years, you can kind of do what you want. And when
I
you
know.
love high school sports, guess what? You get to write about high school sports. Like if Andrew Nemec became the biggest country artist in the world, he would sing about high school football
In the NFL draft.
in the NFL draft. And people would be like, it works, I guess.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're ready to roll. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's go.
You guys want to poll?
Let's do it.
More college football on the poll today. Yeah! We got some college football crab cakes, some Friday fartabouts, and Joey Harrington. It's going to be a nice little Foo Friday here on the show. We'll be right back. It's Isaac and Suk on the Fan.
A home for the Beavs and
Pleased to have you along. It's a Foo Friday. Everybody's fired up for the Foo Fighters. Except for Suk, he's not.
No,
He doesn't care.
I don't care. I did bring my Foo Fighter van high tops though in the car. I may have to switch into them.
Wait, they have their own
Yeah,
shoe?
I have I have Foo Fighter vans.
Is it a foo shoe?
It is a Foo shoe. Except you got to be careful. It's always that, like, there's two trains of thought. Do you wear the band's T-shirt to the concert, or there's that great scene from what is it? The PCU, where Jeremy Piven does a whole thing on "Don't be that guy," and so it's you kind
That
of
is controversial.
yeah, you go back and forth.
Do you do that?
Sometimes I do, but for the most part, that movie kind of ruined it for me. I usually don't, but I did bring the Foo high tops, and I may have to swap into them. So
Yeah, they'll get covered in beer and vomit. It'd be great.
I hope so. I mean, what else is there? Why else are you going to the Foos? I mean, let's go. This is one of the Foo is one of the truly great rock acts because it's even though they've been around a long time, they still have that kind of youthful jackass energy to them. It's fantastic.
Well, they rock.
They rock. They absolutely rock.
And some of that's Dave Grohl's hair.
Yes.
Well,
and just Dave Grohl in general. Dave is one of the great frontmen of all time because he will make you have a good time. It's almost impossible to go to a show and not get roped into what Dave Grohl has going on. And it's just a great band with an amazing catalog.
So we're partying for Foo Friday. Let's get to our poll question on X at 1080 The Fan. Yesterday, we asked you which of these Big Ten quarterbacks will have the best season. Now, very close.
Mm-hmm.
It was a battle.
Was it?
It was.
Oh, that's right, because we didn't put like Dylan Gabriel on there or like Will Howard.
No.
Yeah.
It was Will Rogers, Miller Moss, Aiden Childs, and Tyler Van Dyke.
Mm-hmm. So I went Moss.
Miller Moss wins. USC 34%.
Yeah, something tells me that USC might be getting slept on. I know their schedule is tough, but I don't know. I put some faith in Lincoln Riley, and there is some talent down there. I just think they may have a little something.
Aiden Childs, Michigan State, 26%. Will Rogers, Washington, 20%.
No.
Tyler Van Dyke, Wisconsin, 20%.
No luck for Van Dimes.
Well, I mean, he's right there with Will Rogers. I mean, it was very close, very split.
Yeah. Well, your polls lately have been on point.
Well, that's because I'm great.
Yeah.
Today's poll question, this one not so great. Look.
You kind of mailed this one in a little bit?
No, I just wanted to see where Oregon would land.
Oh, all right.
So this one is predictable, I guess. I think the unpredictable nature of this poll is Oregon. I would just want to see how many people really believe in Oregon. And the question is this: which of the top 4 in the preseason poll will most disappoint this season?
Okay.
So, of course, it's Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas. Now, of course, Texas is going to win this poll, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Because no one believes in Sark.
No. Well, and can I also...
And, of course, Georgia you can trust.
Yes.
Now, Ohio State's interesting. I don't know how many people believe in Ryan Day, but they're loaded.
I love how Ryan Day has lost to Michigan a couple times, and now all of a sudden no one believes in Ryan Day.
It's not that no one believes in him. It's that of this poll question, certainly Georgia's the most proven and trusted.
If you don't trust Georgia, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
That means you don't
But with Ryan Day, you still got to win it for people to get people fully behind you, right?
Yeah.
So Sark, I just think is, if you talk about the elite coaches, of all the elite coaches, who do you trust least?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Sark is like number 1.
Yes, because here's my thing with Texas. And look, I'm not doubting the amount of talent in Texas, okay? But you did lose your 2 starting running backs. So something to keep in mind there. And this is my thing about Texas. Texas last year was really good, obviously. But in the Alabama win, I mean, look, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was on the road at Alabama. So give you all the props. That's the biggest win Texas has had in a long time. They weren't just trucking people, though, right? They gacked that one against Oklahoma. They had a close one against Houston. They eked out a win against Kansas State in OT. They eked out one with TCU, and they lost to Washington, who was way less talented than Texas was in the playoffs. So this idea that Texas has somehow turned a corner and somehow it's now this juggernaut.
Playoffs?
I'm with a lot of the people that say, yeah, Texas had a great year last year. I need to see Texas do it more than 1 year, because 7-win Sark, and before this, it wasn't like Texas was just trucking people. And last year, if you watched a lot of Texas football, talented, yes. Dominant every single week, no. So that's one that I put a little question mark on. That would certainly be mine. Underperforming, I'll take Texas.
I think Texas certainly is going to win the poll. As a matter of fact, they're running away with it at 59%. I just wanted to see here in Oregon where Oregon would fall. Like how many people really don't believe in Oregon
I'll tell
compared to these other three.
I do think a lot of people believe nationally, locally. It feels like everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid right now.
So do you
with
think
the Ducks.
on this poll, considering where we are, do you think Ohio State and Oregon will be about even?
I do.
Well, they're not.
No?
At least so far. Texas, 59%.
Yeah.
Again, the question is, which of the top 4 in the preseason poll will most disappoint this season?
That's clearly mine would be Texas.
Texas, 59%, but we knew that.
Yeah.
Oregon, 28%. Ohio State, 9%.
So people just trust Ohio State?
And Georgia, 4%.
Interesting.
I don't know how you couldn't trust Georgia. But...
No, I mean, that's just, again, if you don't trust Georgia, then you're just, I don't know, you're a conspiracy theory. You don't trust anything. Because right now in college football, death taxes in Georgia football. They just, look, they didn't make the playoff last year. Is there any real doubt that Georgia was one of the 2 best teams in football? I don't know if they beat Michigan. Michigan was good. Michigan was bullies. They proved it time and time again. Georgia was one of the 2 best teams in football. They certainly were one of the 4 best teams in football. And they just happened to lose the one game that they couldn't lose at the end of the year to Alabama. But Georgia is what Alabama used to be. They're the best.
So of all the elite not all the elite coaches, but of the elite coaches who haven't won a title, like Kiffin, DeBoer, Lanning, Sark, Day, who do you trust least? Like of those guys, like are you on board with DeBoer at Alabama right now?
Yeah, I'm on board with DeBoer. All he does is win, and he wins with less. That guy wins everywhere he goes. He wins quickly, and he wins. I'm not going to say without talent, but let's not act like those teams down at Fresno were absolutely loaded. And that Washington team was very good. I mean, obviously Penix went early, some of the receivers, you had a couple of linemen. That was a really talented UW team. But like Penix wouldn't have been a thing without DeBoer. He just wasn't. Penix was an afterthought, right? And I mean, that was all under the development of Kalen DeBoer. So the fact that he's going to Alabama, and, I listen to people down there, and I get it, it's Alabama. But, boy, some of the stuff coming out of there is just be careful writing them off. So I do believe in Kalen DeBoer. He is finally getting all the tools to play with, all the toys. I think he's going to be fine. Honestly, I think one of the answers to that I wouldn't argue with a lot of people is Dan Lanning. I know Lanning can recruit. I know Lanning can build a program. But you also, if you're talking about just that, who you trust least, can we be honest and say that in big games, the person that has the most to answer to right now is Dan Lanning? You can make an argument that every loss that he's had since he's been there, you can make a case, I'm not saying it's true, but you can make a case that it lays at his feet. So...
Well, he's the youngest and the newest.
And he's the youngest.
So would you, if I gave you Oregon's football program, but you can swap out Ryan Day for Dan Lanning, are you doing that? Because I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I'm sure Ryan Day's great. I know he's great.
But I believe.
But what Oregon has going on right now is really good.
If they were flipped, would you do it the other way? If you were Oregon and you could have Ryan Day, would you want him?
Wait, that's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you were saying that if you were Ohio State, you could have Lanning.
Well, no, I did. No. Please try to pay attention.
I'm trying.
But the other way is interesting. How many Ohio State fans would take Dan Lanning over Ryan Day?
And this is weird because Ryan Day's record is stupid good.
I think a lot.
I think, and again, whether it's warranted or not, I think there are a lot of people right now drinking the Dan Lanning Kool-Aid, and because it's not necessarily like. To bring it around to a larger point, you're not going off of what someone's done, because if the question is who is the best coach in college football, based on what you've done, it's not Kirby Smart. It's not. It's Dabo.
Or Brian Kelly.
Or, well, Brian Kelly.
He won a title, didn't
no,
he?
he didn't.
I thought he won a title.
No.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
LSU?
No,
Oh,
Edo,
no.
Edo got it.
Oh,
and
that's
Edo
Saban
right.
got
got
it.
one.
That's right. That's right.
What Dabo has done, Dabo is the best coach. And if we're saying who you taking, it ain't Dabo.
It's a dadgum mistake.
Yeah, no
It
chance.
can't be just what you've done, because Ryan Day has done a lot more than Dan Lanning. But if you're talking about buying futures, I think there's a lot of people at Ohio State, and I mean a lot, that look at what Dan Lanning's doing and look at the momentum that program has and saying, I'll hitch my wagon to Dan Lanning. And that may prove to be foolish. I'm just saying there are a lot of people that are buying what he's got. And obviously the whole, did he turn down Alabama? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I think the fact that narrative out there is huge for him, that every time you turn around, people are talking about Oregon, that they're going into the Big Ten and they're basically co-favorites with Ohio State. I just think a lot of people believe that is the next, that's the next wave of college football is what he's doing.
Ryan Day, 56-8.
I love that he's 56-8.
Just 2-3 in bowl game. Well, actually 2-4.
And there's people out there that are like, is Ryan Day coaching for his job?
Did coach for the national championship, but lost to Joe Burrow.
Loser. Arguably, by the way, the best college football team.
Yes. And that Ohio State
20
team was
years.
sick good.
But that LSU team they had was a buzzsaw.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that Ohio State team wins the title in a lot of other years.
Yeah.
If they don't run into Burrow.
Yeah.
And then he's 39-3 in the conference.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning, 22-5.
He's 39-3.
Yep. He's
So you
only
tell
lost
me
3.
So the only losses he has in conference are to Michigan, right?
I think that's right.
Because I think they've lost the last. I think he beat Ohio State the first 3. How many years has he been there?
Ooh.
'Cause he beat Ohio State for like the first 3 years he was there.
Because initially they were saying this about Harbaugh.
About
Like,
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh couldn't beat
Harbaugh
Ohio
couldn't
State.
beat
And he was
Ohio
going to
State.
maybe lose his job.
So the only conference losses that man has, since
5
he's-
years.
So he's been there 5 years. The
Yeah.
only conference losses he has are to Michigan.
Yeah, the first year he went undefeated in the Big Ten, and they lost in the Fiesta Bowl. They only lost
Yeah.
one game that year.
Yeah.
The next year was COVID year. They went 5-0 in the Big Ten, and then each of the last 3 years he's gone
Just
8 and
Michigan.
he's gone 8-1 in the Big Ten and lost to Michigan. And you can't do that at Ohio State, dude. They'll run you out of town for that crap.
That's so stupid.
And then Lanning 15-3 in league,
Yeah.
but of course he's going to a tougher league now. Some would say.
Yeah. Well, not everybody, but I would agree with you.
All right, there's the poll. Vote hard. It is on X at 1080 The Fan. Some college football crab cakes coming up next, including a little bit of Oregon State news that might have you thinking, hey, things aren't so bad in Corvallis.
Hey.
It's Buck with sports. Man, they're plus 1,400 to win it all on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Good value.
That is a great value.
Yeah.
Because I think I would take that over Texas or Oregon winning it. I mean, Oregon's at plus 750,
Mm-hmm.
almost half.
Yeah.
And then Texas is plus 850. I don't know.
Well, the idea that Saban left and so that everything crumbles. Look, they stabilized the roster. I know they lost some kids, but they've stabilized it. They bring back a lot. And as much as I love Nick Saban, and no one's doubting Saban's greatness, he's the GOAT. Alabama's offense at times is somewhat stagnant. And you can make an argument, and I think it's a really good one, their offense will be much better with Kalen DeBoer. I mean, Saban doesn't run the offense, so he brings in coordinators. And he's had everything from Kiffin to Sark, O'Brien. I mean, they've ran the Maryland guy. I mean, they run through OCs. And if they still play some element of Alabama defense, and you just believe that because of the athletes they have, they're going to play defense, Kalen DeBoer's offense is about to be arguably the best offense that Alabama's ever had. And now I don't know what they have at receiver, or if they have, I mean, because for a while there, some of those receiver rooms in the backs were ridiculous. But if we believe that the Alabama talent level isn't that different than what it's been, this should be one of the best offenses that Alabama has ever seen. And again, you go through the schedule, that's the only one that gives you a little bit of pause, because you got Western Kentucky, whatever, Central Florida, whatever. You do get Wisconsin, and that's on the road. It'll be a nice little test. And then you got the bye week, and then you get Georgia. And you also have Tennessee.
Where's the Georgia game?
It looks like that's at home.
Okay.
You got Georgia at home. You're at Tennessee, home against Missouri, at LSU, and then you're at Oklahoma, and then Auburn in the SEC championship. So, the question becomes, is that a 10-2 schedule? Because again, 10-2, if you are a top 10 team going into the preseason, or even a top 12 team, 13, 14, anywhere in there. So the Oregons, Ohio States, Bamas, Georgias, anybody like that, 10-2 gets you into the dance. 10-2 will make you a top 12 team. So can you look at that and say that that's a 10-2 schedule? Because if you can, Alabama's in the tourney, and then look out. You got to punch your chance. So if you're sleeping on Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, you're fooling yourself.
That's some value. I agree with Buck there.
Yeah.
Plus 1,400.
The other one, to win the SEC, they're plus 750.
Okay.
I mean,
see, I'd rather have.
You'd rather have the national championship ticket?
because just of what Suk just said, it's like just get into that tournament.
Yeah.
And as opposed to winning the league, you got to win that Georgia game.
I was just stunned to see Texas at plus 300 and Alabama basically doubled that at plus 750.
This is going to be a weird statement, and I get it. It's going to take some mental gymnastics. It may be easier in the long run to win a national championship than it is to win the SEC or the Big Ten.
Because you can get those warts during the season and still have it figured out by the end.
Yep.
Yeah, like if you battle some injuries, or again, you can think about this. You can be Georgia last year, runs through.
Well, I think about the Kansas City Chiefs too. All the receiver issues they had, their offense didn't work. Basically, you figure it out by the end of the year. You got the best players out there, and you can take the whole thing down.
Well, think about it. Georgia runs through the year last year and is the best team in football, and they lost one game at the end of the year, and that was the game that they couldn't lose. And now so you don't get in. Whereas, now again, you get to stub your toe, and yes, once you get to the other side, now you got to be perfect. But just getting in now, at least getting a shot at a national title is a lot easier than winning a conference title. Now, actually having to go through the 3 or 4 games that you need, that's a meat grinder. But I think there's going to be an element now in college football, because it didn't used to be this way. Obviously, because the regular season meant so much, because there wasn't any room to stumble. You lose one game, and that may eliminate you depending on what everyone else does. Whereas in the NFL or anywhere else, what do they say? Just get in. Once you're in, we'll worry about everything else. And now in college football, there's going to be an element of that. Yes, the bye week is awesome, because winning 3 games is a lot easier than winning 4. And getting a game at home, certainly. But there will be teams at the end that say, dude, it doesn't really matter. Just let's get healthy. Let's be playing well at the end of the year and get me into the dance, and I'll rely on my guys.
First of all, you did say Alabama and Georgia are playing, right?
Yes.
In Tuscaloosa?
On their schedule, it says it does not say at Georgia. So I would assume that means that it's in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, it says versus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
that's
as
a
versus
home
Georgia.
game.
Yeah.
So Alabama and Georgia have met several times in the SEC title game, but when's the last time they actually met in the regular season?
Feels like
It's been a long
feels like
ass
it's been a
time.
while.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Um,
Well, and they're on the opposite sides, and it's and it's kind of the way.
wait, they're still doing divisions over there?
No, I'm just saying in the past they've been on opposite sides, so that's
Yeah.
why they don't play each other a lot in the regular season.
Yeah, but they have cross meetings, don't they?
Yeah, but again, that's not
That's all gone now.
that's
but
all gone.
I just mean,
But because they weren't in the same side, they weren't guaranteed to play them every year.
No, I know.
2020 was the last time they played in the
In
regular,
the
season.
they played in the COVID season?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
41-24, Bama.
Yep.
Beat number 3 Georgia. Oh, a quick correction. Ryan Day, Ohio State, they did not lose to Joe Burrow in LSU. I was a year off. That I was thinking that that Ohio State team lost to LSU in the championship.
Mhm.
That was Clemson that LSU beat in the championship.
So Clemson beat Ohio State, and then Clemson got rocked because that
Yes.
Burrow team. Yeah, they ran
Yes.
roughshod over Clemson. They blew them
And
out.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, they ran
But the
roughshod
next-
over everybody.
But the next year, the Ryan Day team that played in the championship lost to Alabama.
Okay.
I was thinking they lost to LSU in the championship, but it was the next year they lost to Bama. And that was Mac Jones.
Oh,
Mac Jones over Justin Fields.
where is old Mac Jones now?
Did he
See,
go?
I think he's in. Isn't he Lawrence's backup in Jacksonville?
That sounds right.
I haven't seen Jacksonville play this preseason, but I believe he's
Yes,
there.
he is in Jacksonville.
There you go. Big
Is he a
ol'-
good backup?
Uh,
Is that a-
sure.
Is that a good backup?
Well, it's tough to say.
He is just the definition of.
He had the one good year, and then everything kind of fell apart. And I don't know if to blame that on Mac Jones or if I blame it on New England.
There were a lot of reports that he was kind of
Bitch.
kind of a surly dude to work with. Other quarterbacks didn't like watching film with him. He didn't get along with a lot of people in the Patriots facility. So interesting to see
What
how
a
this plays
goober.
Well, now you get to go sit, and at some point he'll get a chance to resurrect his career. He'll sit behind Lawrence. Lawrence will get hurt, and he'll have like a 4 or 5 game stretch there. And can you prove that you belong? And when you do that, you can end up like a Gardner Minshew or Ryan Fitzpatrick and Matt Schaub. I mean, there's some guys that take it and run with it. Geno Smith got a crack. It took him a while, but you haven't seen the end of Mac Jones. So it's just a matter of what you do with this time. Or do you sit and pout and find yourself Josh Rosen-like and you're out of the league in 3-4 years.
All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we will have our college football crab cakes, little Oregon State nugget, and the top 5 most popular wedding dates of 2024. One of them is a very serious Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't do this.
We will be right back on The Fan.
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
Yes.
I know we've got college football talk here, but what are we doing on the Paul Skeens over-under strikeout total tonight? He's got the Mariners strike out more than any other team in baseball.
Yeah, at the same time, dude, Skeens has not been very good since the All-Star break. He's been the definition of meh.
Well,
But it is the Mariners, so
he hasn't won in 5 starts, but
he's got roughed up. Like he's given up 11 runs in his last 2 or 3 combined.
no.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. He gave up 4 in the last outing. He gave up 2 the previous outing, 1 the previous
so it's
outing,
not as
2 previous before that.
Okay.
And then before that, he had 7 innings against Milwaukee and 11 strikeouts, shutout.
Well, then
Actually, that was the 7 no-hit innings.
okay. So
But the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Actually, the last 4 starts, he's 0-2, and he's given up 9 runs in 4 starts.
okay.
And that probably is bad for him.
Yeah. By the way, against the Mariners, I'm going to set it at 8.5.
Well, it is 8.5.
8.5.
The question
I'll take
is
the over.
over
I'll
or
take
under.
the over. Dude, the Mariners.
Because the Mariners strike out a lot.
A lot.
And Julio's back in there. He's good for 4 himself.
Well, the other night he was good for 5.
I know.
I'll take the over. Skeens will get 9.
Okay.
Boy, they even
right.
the guys that can hit strike out a lot.
I know.
I mean, Raleigh's good for 2, guaranteed, and he's their best hitter.
Well, the first 2 guys have already hit, and he got them out, but
No strikeouts.
no strikeouts.
No, the M's got runners on the corners though.
Come on.
I'm trying to stream the game right now, and I'm having issues.
Come on, Mariners. Skeens.
I'm having
Wait,
challenges.
who am I rooting for?
Yeah, I don't know. Who are you going for?
Well, Skeens is a steamer, so I'm and so is Julio, but he's on the bench because he sucks. So I don't know. I'm probably going for Skeensy babes.
Well, it's a big one because the
My guy,
Astros
Paul.
can't lose, and the Astros are playing the sorry-ass White Sox.
I know.
So if you drop a couple here against Pittsburgh, you may find yourself 5, 5-6 back. I mean, already, I think ESPN has their playoff odds, not just the division. Their playoff odds are like 33%.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look at the AL wild card, man. I think they're 3 back in the division, and I think they're 3.5 in the wild card.
Yeah.
The wild card's a meat grinder. So, like, it's
Got to
I'm
catch my Royals.
yeah, I'm not saying it's the end all to be all, but it feels like that if they don't win the division, they ain't getting into the postseason.
Yeah, that you're right. So it's like we've got 3 wild cards now.
Yeah.
So in the AL, right meow, the Yankees are way up, and then it's Twins, Royals, Red Sox, and then the Mariners are 3.5 back of the Royals.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it really does feel like win the division or else. And
So you have to chase the Royals and Red Sox or the Astros.
the Astros. And I'm not sure right now which one's worse, but I mean, look, if this is their offense,
Don't they have head-to-head with Houston coming up? They should.
I'm sure they have some more. I don't know how many they have left, but you would
Take
think
a look.
most of the time at the end of the year, remember they try to do division matchups, so I would assume that they have some
Yeah,
more
but
coming
this
up
year they
against.
change everything because you get to play every
They don't
team
get
this year.
Houston again until the second to last series of the year.
Just one, and it's in Houston.
Yep.
Just 3 games.
And you know where the Mariners are going next? The Dodgers.
Oh, God.
Oh no!
So that makes this Pittsburgh series just, think about that. That is it a 3-game set against Pittsburgh?
It
3
is.
at Pittsburgh, 3 at LA, 6-game road trip. Or no, 9-game road trip when you include the 3 in Detroit on the front end.
So if we're assuming, and it's a big assumption, but let's say Houston sweeps Chicago because, well, Chicago,
they should.
and you drop 2 or 3, you could find yourself 5 back going in to play the freaking Dodgers. Good luck.
Yeah,
I
buckle
mean,
up.
This is kind of
Dodgers are getting healthy.
Yeah, this is getting squirrely right now for M's fans. And realize it wasn't that long ago you had a 10-game lead in that division. There's been a 13-game swing already. That ain't good. Although, I mean, I don't know what you do. Like, people are like, well, it changes. What change?
Well, at this point, there's nothing. I
Nothing
mean,
you
they
can
tried
do.
to make a couple trades.
Yeah. I mean,
Got a
they did.
Rosarena, got Turner.
They did make a couple changes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even next year, it's like, I don't know, do you
Trade everyone.
I guess you can't just sit there on your hands back. I think we did enough.
All right, college football crab cakes. This coming to us from one of our listeners. Did not know this. He forwarded this on, but apparently a lot of people are talking about the date of October 12th around here.
Yeah.
And around the country
Yeah, it's a big game.
because
big date.
yeah, it's
Big
a big
game
day.
weekend.
It's the Ohio State Oregon game.
Mhm.
which will be the biggest game ever in the history of Oregon football,
Yeah.
or at least the history of Autzen.
Regular season, yeah.
It is also Texas OU.
Mm-hmm. Red River, whatever the hell you're calling that.
It is also Ole Miss LSU, and it is also Penn State USC. The listener alerts us that that is a top 5 most popular wedding date of 2024.
Yeah, people are all about it. And I hate to tell you, but if you invite me to a wedding on that day,
A lot of phones out at the reception. A lot of phones out.
I think that's a hard pass. Like,
You're saying no to the wedding?
you got to be in a real inner circle in order for that to happen. Because I'm going down to that Ohio State Oregon game, and let's just say we better at least bare minimum. I'm taking you to the airport, and we better have holidayed together. Otherwise, sorry, I'm unavailable that day. I've got prior commitments. Can I also say this? We have got to get over this. People being at your wedding is a big deal. It's not. Here's my thing. If you're getting married and I'm not there, guess what? It doesn't matter. You don't care. I don't care. At the end of the day, it means nothing. We get into this whole thing about, well, we can't get, yes, you can get married if someone's not there. What if my dad's not there? What if my brother's not there? Okay.
What if the groom isn't there?
Well, that's kind of a big deal.
Because he wants to watch the game.
Can he be there through Zoom? Is that a possibility? Can I just Zoom? Can I DocuSign?
That would be awesome.
Yes.
If some dude zooms into his own wedding because he
Yeah.
wants to, because he's at the game.
Well, let me ask you this: when you got hitched, you had a very small ceremony.
Yeah.
Right.
You weren't there.
I did not get invited. I did not make the cut. And I'll tell you what, I'm okay with that because again, it was a small ceremony.
You weren't at the time.
Well, it did hurt. But is there anyone at that wedding that you really particularly even remember being at the wedding?
Well, yeah. I remember everyone that was there because it was small.
It was small.
It was only like 20 people.
Had one of those people not been there, would it have ruined your day?
Yes.
I don't think you
I may not even be here today.
That's
I
my
would be
whole
so
point.
hurt.
We make a way bigger deal because we get a lot of, well, we have to be there. No, you don't. You don't have to be there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people don't care.
I'd probably go to the wedding. I think weddings are more fun than live football games anyway. But that Ohio State Oregon game is pretty special. And then, of course, if you're down in the South, Texas OU, come on, man. I think that's the coolest game in all of college football.
The way they split the stadium.
Yes, that
Well,
is
and
so
it,
cool.
And it always ends up being like a one-score game.
Yes,
Almost
it's
always,
so
yeah.
awesome. Like, how many times do you get a football game where half of the stadium? First of all, it's a bitter rivalry, and half of the stadium is the one color, and the other half is the other color, and that is it. It is 50-50.
Yep.
That where they play that in the Cotton Bowl, I think.
Yes.
It is so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hmm.
I just give 2 thumbs meh to weddings.
Yeah, you're not a big wedding guy.
Well, we just make a big deal about them.
Well, it's big. It's big for the
They're
ladies.
fun parties.
Yeah, it's big for the bride. You know, it's a big deal.
I understand.
I think going to a wedding rules.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really like
I
weddings
mean,
too.
I guess it depends whose wedding. If it's for like a coworker that you don't know very well and you don't know the other people.
See, I don't.
But if it's one of your friends or your
I-
family, like, and you're going to be partying with everybody you know that night, that's
I
a great time out.
disagree. I think a wedding where I'm just kind of along for the ride is even more fun because I don't.
I'm not saying they're not fun, but like I think it's cool to know that you're going to go like hang out with 20 or 30 of your friends.
Well,
Like,
there's that, but I just mean like the wedding where you just have no. Like weddings are awesome. Like what other place? And it's not all weddings, but most weddings are just the only place where just everybody's like you're just on your best behavior or you're just drinking a bunch
Mhm.
and you're happy and you're celebrating and it's just I think it's a great tradition. And I'm down. If you want to invite me to your wedding, I'll be there. When you get married to BTJ.
You gonna come to Japan?
we should go. It's
I see.
awesome.
I see a big.
Actually,
I see a big pause.
I might go.
Yeah.
It would give you a
I
good
love-
reason to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Gives you a reason to go to Japan.
Yeah, because I probably won't go to Japan otherwise.
Yeah.
You should consider
I
it.
got several people that are sitting waiting for that to happen just so they can go to Japan.
I don't even know if I'll get the invite and I want to go to Japan for your wedding.
Well, you can just come with me.
Okay.
Plus
You'll
one.
be my plus one. Wait, my wife might not like that. But
Plus 2. Oh, believe me.
you know,
Yeah, when that
weddings are
goes
great.
down, just wait until wait till you don't get the invite, a la me.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I won't be hurt.
Unlike me, it hurt my feelings.
Oh, I'm hurt.
I just don't. I don't know. I understand your point about weddings being a great celebration and hanging with your buddies. I guess my point is, to the person getting married, they will see you there for 7 seconds. So
well,
this,
yeah, the weddings are the worst for the people who are actually getting married.
and that's my point, is like, we make a big deal. Like when if you have a friend or a family member getting married, there's this like, oh my God, we have to be there. And my point is, no, you don't, because that day will be so hectic for the bride and groom. They will acknowledge you for all of 8 seconds. And so you're saying that how egotistical is it of people to think that your presence makes or breaks that wedding? It does not. That's all I'm saying.
I
No,
don't
but
know,
people want to think that on their special day you'll care enough to be there.
right.
That's what they.
That's
I'm not.
right.
I'm not justifying it. That's the rationale.
that's what it
and it's
is.
coming from the brides and their mothers.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's the pressure of, hey, I need to be there for this guy.
I love this. I've been to 3 weddings in my entire life, including my own, which was in Vegas. Overrated. Everyone should elope. Thank you.
I can't think of a wedding I've been to that I didn't have a good time at.
Agreed. But I do also agree that they are a little overrated. I mean, look, they're great.
Yeah.
But we don't need. I don't know about overrated. They're kind of over the top.
Yeah.
Needless.
Is it wrong that I just would want to throw just a big,
But still fun.
I would like to do just a big, instead of a wedding, can I just throw a big kick-ass party?
Yes.
That's all
Yeah.
open
Well,
bar.
people do that.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't need anything
Well,
else.
and look, I think
Open
part
bar,
of
let's
what
go.
part of what Buck and I are saying here is not about the ceremony, although sometimes the ceremonies are cool.
That's usually the weakest
that's
part.
the weakest part. It's the fun part is the pre-funking and getting, and standing in line, shooting the breeze, getting a drink with some dude you don't
Going to
even,
the bar afterwards,
the drunk
like the
uncle
after party.
Yeah, like that's the fun part. It's not the actual ceremony. Like, who cares about that?
Just
That's
again,
all for the bride.
So-
You just placate her.
So
Oh,
basically,
that's
you
so
guys
cute.
just like going to an open bar. That's what
We
we're
just
saying.
like going to parties where
Yeah, go
everyone's
to
having
parties
a
with
good
people
time.
who are trying to have fun.
Yes.
So it's not the wedding.
No.
It's just a party.
It's the wedding,
No,
but it's
it's a
just.
party.
I mean,
it's
we
a-
care way less about their matrimony.
Right.
We'll admit that.
It's an avenue to, and everybody's dressed up like it's a jovial time.
So if there was no reception, no open bar, what
Out.
do you think? Yeah.
They're not
100%
You
out.
Yes,
you don't want to go to a wedding.
they're
You
not
just
fun.
want to go to an open bar party.
Yes, because open
yes,
bar parties are the
but,
best.
Guess what? Open bar parties are at weddings.
Not all weddings.
Jesus.
Go to a Mormon wedding.
Yeah, well, I'm not interested.
No, you see, that's where Isaac and I are watching football.
That's
Yeah.
right. I'll be at Ohio State, Oregon.
Because I've been to Mormon weddings. Let me tell you, Mormon Jesus, yeah, he puts a kibosh on all that. No good.
Well, anyway, the 12th of October, one of the top 5 most popular wedding dates of 2024. Oklahoma, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, USC, Ole Miss, LSU, all on that day.
It's a great day.
So there's people all over the country that are like, God
Although
bless.
in today's world, if you're smart enough to, at your reception, put up a TV and throw a game or two on. Even if it pisses off the wife, be like, hey, it's for everyone's involvement.
Some brides, I don't know. I don't see it.
Well, Bridezilla.
All right, college football crab cakes continue next. Oregon State Nugget and hot seat coaches. This is The Fan.
PNC Park,
Yeah,
dude, they're doing like a little drone view of it. God,
Mhm.
that is
it's
That
cool
place
looking.
is gorgeous.
that may be, and I know historically it doesn't have the same cachet, but I've been to Wrigley, I've been to Fenway, which are the only two. Well, Dodger Stadium, been there. I've been to all the old stadiums still remaining. I think PNC Park might be number one on my list of ballparks that I haven't seen that I want to. Every time I see that thing, it just looks amazing. And now they got an okay team, and to go see old Skeens pitch there, that may be number one on my MLB bucket list right now.
Well, it's always at the top of the ballpark list.
Yeah, everyone just raves,
You know.
about it.
But you got to go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know.
and it's like, well,
Well, but like, I don't know, like
I mean, I guess
Cam-
Pittsburgh.
Camden Yards is one that people say you should go see, and that's in Baltimore. I mean, what are outside of the big ones again? So Dodger Stadium, Wrigley, Fenway, Yankee Stadium, even though it's new Yankee Stadium. I mean, what are the other like must see ballparks?
I think Petco's amazing.
Yeah, Petco's a great one.
I haven't been and would really like to.
That's in
Yeah.
San Diego.
Petco's a good park, and it's in a cool area down there.
I think what the Giants have going on is good.
Yeah,
Been there.
That's a good one. Been there.
San Francisco, at least, I've heard people compare PNC and Oracle Park because of the way they're both on the water and the sight lines that they have.
I will say Oracle is.
It's cool.
I always think of it as AT&T Park.
Yeah,
but,
it's been a bunch of things.
Yeah, dude, Oracle is a great play. We went down there and saw the Yankees just this year. That's high on the list. I'm with you. I don't know why I always forget that. But gosh, that's a kick-ass place.
Because Candlestick sucked so bad.
It's possible. Well, a lot of the old parks did.
Hey, what about the Trop?
To this day,
You guys in on the Trop?
I have seen so many games there, and there is not a worse stadium in any sport than Tropicana Field. Well, except maybe Oakland Coliseum, but that's just because they've just let it deteriorate. By the way, they did a ranking, fan
Who's
vote,
they?
fan voting.
Oh, the fans.
Yeah, the fans.
Okay.
Top. They ranked every park in Major League Baseball. Number one, Oracle.
Really?
They went Oracle number one. They went Dodgers number two. Obviously Fenway 3, and you can guess 4. Wrigley Field.
The Trop.
And then PNC Park. There's your top 5. Let's see where Petco's at. Hey, Safeco, or now whatever the hell that thing is.
The Pink.
The
T-Mobile.
Pink. They came in top 10. That came in at 9. Petco at 7. Yeah. So
What's bad? Like, so the Trop is bad. Oko
Trop
is
is bad. Oakland's bad. I'll go. Let me scroll.
What else? What's like the next worst?
Okay, so obviously they went worst being Oakland Coliseum because, well,
Yes.
rats and
Is it the
Tropicana.
I bet the Marlins Park.
Tropicana 29. And the Marlins field's at least new.
Yeah, but it
They went
sucks.
Chase Field.
Where's that?
That's Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And they're trying to get a new one built. That supposedly is a dump. They went
Angels.
Marlins is 27, Land or Lone Depot Park, which is funny because that thing costs $3 billion and is brand new,
Yeah.
and,
They didn't do a very good job on that.
people crap on
Oh,
it.
White Sox got to be up there. That place sucks.
I'm
I've been there.
scrolling here. Yep, there's the
It's horrible.
Yep, there's the White Sox. There's the Nationals.
Oh yeah, I've heard not great things about
Oh.
RFK.
The Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals.
RFK. Wait, they played RFK?
Isn't it RFK?
I don't think so.
Or is it Nationals Park?
It's
now?
Nationals
It used to be
Park.
RFK.
Yeah, they got their own stadium.
And the White Sox. Sorry, I just scrolled past it. Guaranteed Rate Field.
yeah,
they-
that place
They had
sucks.
just crap all over that thing. So yeah, those are the worst.
Little hot ballpark talk.
Those
for
are
you
the
guys.
worst stadiums.
You guys want some impromptu ballpark talk? You just got it.
Cause yeah.
Bitches.
See, Detroit comes in at 19, and I found Detroit's Comerica. I found that delightful. I liked Comerica.
Yeah, never been.
Was a big fan. It's cool. A lot of good
I hear-
statues.
You know what one I hear good things about, but I'll probably never get there is Target.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Minnesota's new one.
The other one that I want to get to that I haven't is I want to get to Busch Stadium. I want to get to the Busch.
Yeah, I've been there. It's cool.
Is
I
it?
mean, well, St. Louis is such a
Yeah, that's
baseball
kinda
city.
yeah,
It's just classic.
just seems like it's got a good vibe to it.
Yeah.
I'd like to go check it out.
All right, back to our college football crab cakes. I wanted to point out that, of course, it was behind a paywall, so I couldn't read the whole story, and I refused. But Oregon Live, I think it was Dashel that had it, that Oregon State is at 96% of last year's season tickets sold.
Tasty.
That's phenomenal.
That
Good for
is
them.
phenomenal. Is that not phenomenal? I mean, they sold, it's like roughly around 15,000.
Yeah.
But last year, they were a top 25 team.
Absolutely.
Nobody saw any of this other crap with the Pac-2 and the
And
Pac-12.
Jonathan Smith leaving and all
Yeah,
that.
all that. So think about how
I love it.
last year at the start of the year, Oregon State was on the come up. Like
Yeah.
it was, people were excited down there, and they were opening the new part of the stadium, and yeah, they're at 96% this year.
I love it. Maybe circle the wagons.
Think about all the things that have gone wrong for Oregon State since that time,
Yeah.
and the fans are still snatching up the season ticks. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I love that. I've said this multiple times. I'm worried. I'm worried that because you start out with Idaho State, which whatever, you'll bludgeon Idaho State, and then you're on the road at San Diego State, and that's the one that scares me because I don't
Is
know
that
what
Brady Hoke, or
I
is he
think,
gone?
is he still down at San Diego State?
I just asked you that.
I don't know.
Aren't you a sports guy?
That was kind of one of those rhetorical.
Sean Lewis,
San
Diego State football coach.
So
who the hell's that?
if that ends up, and I expect Oregon State to win that game, but if you lose that game, because right now Beaver fan is circling the wagon, I love it. Right, let's go, and there's some renewed hope with the Big 12 and maybe the ACC, and so I feel like there's like some life, right, breathing life into this thing.
Sean Lewis was the OC at Colorado last year.
That guy.
He was the guy that got bounced, I think, for Shermer.
Yeah.
But he was there for all of 1 year.
Oh. Well, then hopefully San Diego State doesn't have
Hey,
anything going on.
That means we like him because he didn't jive with
Prime.
With Prime.
Prime and that stupid program
So back
that
to
we hate.
this is my fear. So that we got some good juice going on. We're selling tickets. There's some renewed hope.
Oh, no.
But if you lose to San Diego State, and who knows, maybe a coin flip game. It's on the road. A lot of new beeves. But if let's say you get clipped in that one by a field goal or something's close, you're back home the next week, and Oregon comes to town, and I think that's going to get bad. I do. I think that will be.
Well, so what?
That's going to be a bludgeoning, and then you got Purdue coming.
The Boilermakers?
This is my fear. If you start the season, and it goes south after that Oregon game, I wonder if the air will just get let out of the balloon, and that beautiful new stadium they built and all of this goodwill, does it just go away, and do we just throw up our hands as a Beaver fan and just say I'm done? Because I did hear for a while Beaver fan was a lot of them were like that. They were like, dude, I'm just not doing this. This is stupid. This is unfair. I don't give a damn. I mean, I heard a lot of apathy, and that's great to hear about the season tickets. I just hope that I just think that San Diego State game is a must win. I really do. I think that is a must win to keep the momentum going and maybe stave off what's going to happen against the Ducks.
Yeah, listen, I'm only coming at this from a college football fan perspective because I have had to deal with Kansas football for years.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that is hard, and you do get some apathy when they suck and you don't really watch. So I what you're saying is definitely valid, a danger. But I feel like some of that, especially I'm looking at their schedule, like a lot of these games, pretty much all of their games besides the Oregon game
Are
and
winnable.
even that are winnable.
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be kind of an exciting or it could be kind of an exciting season for them, even though fans are disgruntled about having to play. The home games are Purdue and Colorado State and UNLV and San Jose State. That's not as exciting. I get that.
But it could be wins.
But it could be fun. Yes. Yeah. And so I sort of feel like some of the apathy, while I totally get people initially going, you know what, this whole thing with Oregon State, I'm just done. I think when push comes to shove, particularly when it's your university, you're still going to watch. Most of those people are still going to watch. I feel like it's a bit like the people who are like, Colin Kaepernick knelt, and I will never watch the NFL again. Yeah, right. You'll be right back next Saturday or next Sunday.
I understand, but there has been many a year where they don't fill Reeser at all. And that was before any of this stuff happened, which is why I said.
No, I know.
I just
but
think
that would be normal.
I think it's important to get out to a good start.
Yes, but I think that would be like, look, Oregon State doesn't have the biggest and broadest fan base.
No.
It just doesn't.
No.
So even if they don't, let's put it out there initially that if they don't fill Reeser every game, let's not pile on them because they've never really filled Reeser. I mean,
yeah, they've struggled at times.
and that was in the Pac-12. So I just feel like that, yes, there's probably some people that are pissed off still. In the end, I don't know how. I guess it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what the sort of how we'll measure it, because I don't know that it should be attendance unless attendance just becomes like, and I don't see this happening. But what if attendance just becomes like 5,000 a game, 10,000 a game, 12,000 a game?
I
just don't see that happening.
Well, this is where I'm going with it. That if you lose to San Diego State and get bludgeoned by Oregon, and then the Purdue game is a coin flip game, I wonder what that crowd against Colorado State the next week will be, because it might be 12,000 people.
What'd they average last year?
Well, I think they packed it pretty much. I think that thing was full the entire time. I mean, that was a great environment. That was they packed that place. New stadium, other side, it was great, and they were good. That was a packed house. Like I said, I hope they get off to a good start, because if it goes south early, then you get games against Colorado State at home, you get games against UNLV at home, San Jose State. You could end up with just a ghost town. You could end up with no one showing up, and I don't want that. Like I said, and I'm hoping that the renewed belief that maybe the Big 12 or the ACC will come calling, maybe that kind of sustains you a little bit. I just think it's been a rough go for Beaver fan, and they're going to need some positive juju early on. They're going to need some, this isn't that bad, because I think right now for Beaver fan, it's a little like, which way does this go? I've heard from plenty of them that are like, hey, this schedule is very winnable. Hey, we can win 10 games here. We can still be relevant. Let's go. And I've heard the others that are like, my God, like, what are we even doing? Like, we don't even matter anymore. And that's why I said the momentum thing at the beginning.
Yeah, I get it.
Those are huge games.
I get it. I just think I think that even if they struggle, I feel like they have good fans. And college is just a little bit different than your average sport, in a sense that there's just that connection to your team, and you want to watch them. You're going to be there, especially if there's some exciting games. So that's the thing about Oregon State. It's like some years, like when you're Kansas, back when we were really, really bad, there was no reason to watch because you knew they were going to lose.
Yeah.
That is not going to be the case with Oregon State, even if they start slow, right? Like they're with this schedule. Now, if they were in the Big Ten, maybe you wouldn't be as high on them, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, like if I'm a Beaver fan and I'm not a season ticket holder, I'm just the average bro, and I'm used to seeing SC, Arizona State, Washington State roll through town, and now I look down at my ticket and I see UNLV, San Jose State, and Colorado State. And
I get you.
And I just got done watching my team lose,
bad weather,
get bludgeoned, and now it's a little chilly and it's a little rainy, and I'm like, what? UNLV?
I get it.
I'm not doing this.
So if you want to go by attendance, average attendance, 5-year average for Oregon State is 32,882.
Okay.
That's their 5-year average.
Yeah.
Last year they were up to 37,000 on average.
Yeah.
What do you think they'll do this year? Well, I get you're saying it's based on how they do. So if it gets really bad,
I think
you think 10 to 12 grand.
I think you're going to be in the teens. I think you'll be in the. You'll be in 17 to 18,000,
Okay.
and in that stadium, it's going to look bad.
So that'd be basically half of your average.
I think it'll be about half the average. And I said it's a big if. It's just if it goes south. And like I said, I think that'd be a shame because
hopefully not.
It's a great fan base, and that stadium is beautiful, and I want the Beavs to succeed. So, I just
I feel like
I don't know. They are as big a wild card to me going into this year as any team. I don't know what to make of Trent Bray. I don't know what to make of the roster. I don't know what to make of the transfers that come in. And the one thing you say is the schedule outside of Oregon, it's not like it's a gauntlet, right? Those should be games that you can be in, that you can win. I just don't know what they're going to bring to the table. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, but with one hand over my eye at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I agree with all that about the team. I know what to make of their fans though, and I think they're really good.
Yeah.
And there's nice new shiny parts of the stadium. It's fun down there, and I think I have faith that even if they struggle, I don't think it's going to be as bad as you say.
Well, okay.
And I guess
I don't know.
We'll revisit the attendance number late in the year.
Yeah,
see what happens.
I just remember some years, man, when we were doing this, and it was bad down there. It was bad.
All right, the college football crab cakes continue next with hot seat coaches. who has the most on the line. This is Isaac and Suk. I'm Isaac.
Mhm.
On the Fan.
The Fan is live on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're gonna get
You,
called
though.
that, do you get called the
Dude, that's
ultimate?
hilarious. So you just happen to be like right by the sideline there?
Yeah, it was like on a screen pass or something, and we all know that I was the world's worst screen blocker, and I mean this, of all time. Like, it was pathetic. And I went out and I went to cut someone, and I missed in a shocking development. And as I rolled over and he ran by me, I may have inadvertently flung my leg up as I was prone to do, and it was a beauty. Just heel, groin, boom! Right in front of the sidelines. How it didn't get called, I was even surprised. I was like, ooh, that's a 15. And then I looked around and I was like, ooh, no flag. And that's when, and he was losing it, and I was kind of laughing at him because I knew there should have been a flag. And that's when I said something, and he responded back, at which point I laughed and jogged back. We beat him because they sucked. But
He went 12-39 at Cal and never got another job.
Well, now he's the AD there at BYU.
Well, he's been there for years.
Yeah, he's been there a long time.
Hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been there a long time. I always, I guarantee for him, none of that stuff registers. But if I ever did meet him, I would like to.
Well, we should get him on.
I would like to introduce myself and be like,
hey, Buck, why don't you get him on?
Okay. You want me to try?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I actually know.
That would be what we would call that's gotcha journalism. Hey, Coach Homo, do you remember a little game 1999?
There's no way he remembers that.
No, zero chance. Well, that's the thing is like when you meet coaches years later, I went back to a BYU game, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. Me and my buddy went down, and you would think, and I was a fairly memorable guy, and you would think that people would remember you. I went up to a one of the defensive coaches who I knew pretty well. No idea who I was. And so I was like, oh, you remember? And I told him, and he did yeah.
Hey, guy.
Yeah. And that happened to my brother too. I remember at a charity event, he ran into one of his offensive coaches, and it was the same sort of thing. And you just realize, dude, those guys when you're a coach there for 15 plus years, how many people do you see roll through there? You just,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, what if you reminded Homo that you were the ultimate sea sucker? Would he remember you then?
I do. That's what I wonder. For someone who probably doesn't curse a whole lot and is a pretty nice guy,
You might not remember me, but you did call me this.
Yeah.
Oh, now I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would hope that he would double down on it.
You leg whipping piece of.
And then he hangs up angrily.
Again, to be fair
That'd
to
be
him,
awesome.
it was pretty bad.
I'd want nothing more for the show than that.
Slams it down.
Now I want to see the play.
Hey, Deal is
Boom.
in on the Vancouver Fort text line. I heard Art Briles has started attending Temple on the reg. Next BYU coach? Let's get it.
The list of Mormon coaches in college football.
Do you have a list?
Yeah.
Like, who else is Mormon?
So Jay Hill.
Who's that?
He was the head coach at Weber State.
Football?
Yeah, he was the head coach at
They have football there?
and now he's shocker, he's now at BYU. Again, Paul Peterson, Dixie State.
Whittingham?
The defensive line coach at USC, Vic So'oto. He's a Mormon guy. Dude, none of these. Dude, you're talking about like the Boise State defensive line coach, the Virginia co-defensive line or defensive coordinator. I played with him. It's a lot of ex-BYU players.
Okay, well.
Kellen Moore.
Oh, Kellen Moore.
There you go. There's the name.
I didn't know he was LDS.
Where's he now? He's with the
Chargers, right?
No, Eagles.
Eagles.
He's with the Eagles.
Yeah. So
He's
it's
dealing with Nick Sirianni and
yeah,
Jalen
it's
Hurts.
just- so it's just
He won't go college, will he?
again, no. The list of people for that job.
But that
it's-
would not be a bad hire, though.
no.
If
In fact,
Sitaki left.
of those hires, that's like
If you could get him.
if you can get him, it's tough, man. It's a tough job.
Did he go? He didn't. No, he went to Boise State.
Yeah, Kellen Moore went to Boise State.
Yeah.
But he's an LDS guy. And then we asked the question, like, is he actually LDS?
What a loser.
Well, there's a difference between,
Yes, you and a real Mormon. Yes.
well, I'm not anymore.
I know,
really-
but back when you were supposedly Mormon,
yeah,
you weren't a real Mormon.
I tried.
Kick you out of there.
I tried.
No, you didn't.
I did. For like 3 years.
Try harder.
Didn't work.
All right, we got to go. We're going way too long today. Those are your hot seat coaches. And that wraps up college football crab cakes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got to go because it's Foo Friday.
Ow!
In the news is next. Here's Buck. Abbreviated ITM today. We have gone long, shooting the breeze about Tom Holmoe and college football. It is August 16, 15? August 16, 2024. It is time for In the News. I'm your newsman. Hello, thank you. Today is two things I hate. Well, I don't hate. That's a strong word.
Dislike.
Two things I dislike. One is National Roller Coaster Day.
Oh, I don't
Not a
mind
big fan.
I don't mind a roller coaster.
And it is also National Rum Day.
Oh, you don't like rum, huh?
No,
Oh, sign me up.
it's fine, but it's not my first choice, or second, or third, or fourth.
It's probably on the medal stand for me. I mean, it's certainly not 1,
Top 3.
and it's not 2, but I'll put it on the I'll go bronze.
Okay.
I mean, rum. You can mix rum with anything, and I'll drink it. I mean, rum is it's great. I mean, it's not whiskey, and I'm assuming we're counting Scotch, right?
Sure.
Whiskey, Scotch, all one thing. Can we just say brown, all-encompassing bourbon, whiskey, Scotch? 1, vodka 2. Give me a nice solid rum on the medal stand, and there's nothing wrong with bronze. Get a parade for a bronze.
It is Foo Friday.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little excited.
I think it's gonna be a good show tonight.
Yeah. But I got a little. It's gonna be a good run for me because I got the Foo tonight. I got the White Buffalo tomorrow.
Whoa. Where's he?
Roseland.
Okay.
And if you don't know the White Buffalo, I'm telling you, ask somebody, find out, get to the Roseland. That dude, badass. And then 2 weeks, I got Metallica in Seattle. And then 2 weeks after that, I got Metallica in a little place I like to call Mexico City.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's going to get sideways.
That's hot.
Yeah. 3 nights, Mexico.
Those are all bands you've seen 800 times, though,
Yes.
which I find interesting.
Yes. Metallica is well over 30. The Foo's probably in the low 20s, and the Buffalo is probably 20 times too. I love concerts. And if I've seen my favorites, why wouldn't I want to see them again?
So the Foo Fighters show is tonight at Prov Park. Sold out show. They're saying what, like 30,000 people? there?
30,000. Let's go.
First concert at that stadium in 20 years. The stage is, they put the stage where the South Goal sits in front of the Mac Club there.
Yeah.
Big old stage over there.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal.
The GA, the general admission ticket holders all began lining up early this morning.
Yeah, because they're
Doors are now open.
They're good. Yeah, they opened at like 4:30, right? And then there's
4.
4, and then yeah, it's just going to be a big old pit down there, and I'm behind the pit.
So the pit, is it, because I saw the layout,
Yeah.
the field is all GA?
No.
It's not?
No. So they've got there's the stage, and then the stage has a big like catwalk,
Yeah.
and then on each side of the catwalk is the GA. There's a big old pit down there, and then behind that
Are
there'll be a
seats.
fence, and then there'll be a seat. So
Okay.
I'm on the floor behind
Okay.
the pit.
So you're at you're at midfield on the north side, or like over towards the north side,
Yeah.
where the Timbers Army, on the Timbers Army side.
No. We'll be much closer than that.
I know, but I just mean on that.
Yeah.
They're over there.
Yes.
The stage is on the other
side.
there.
Yeah. So it will be, and I'd like to think this being the first big concert like this in Portland and this long, where you have this, I'm guessing
It's gonna be big.
I'm guessing Dave is gonna acknowledge this and bring a little something. Gonna bring a little something extra tonight. I feel it.
Okay. Well, we are 1 week from the start of the Oregon State Fair,
Oh,
a real concert.
hell yeah. Let's go.
Who's playing? I knew you'd ask.
Let's go.
I'm gonna tell you next on The Fan.
This is the Fan's Window into Sports, a view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
Suzuki with a long drive, base hit to left. Here comes Ian.
That's Salem, right?
Yeah. Come on, man. It's always down there.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't go to the Oregon State Fair very much.
The fairgrounds.
I don't go a lot to the Clark County Fair, which is, I think, going on right now, or was last week.
The 2024 Umpqua Bank Concert Series at the Oregon State Fair kicks off with Craig Morgan next week, 23rd. When is that? That'd be Friday night.
Okay.
Do you know Craig Morgan?
I do. He sings.
Is he a country guy?
Yeah, he sings Redneck Yacht Club.
Okay. Do you know Steel Pulse?
No.
I've heard of Steel Pulse. Why do I know Steel Pulse?
Because they're playing the Oregon State Fair.
Well, no, they have like one hit, I think.
I know Steel Panther. Are they playing? I'd go see Steel Panther.
They'll be on Saturday night. Then Monday night, the Goo Goo Dolls will be out at the Oregon State Fair for all you
Hell yeah.
swooning cougar ladies.
I don't want the world to see me.
Yeah, that was like
Because
the.
I don't think that they'd understand.
That was like the featured song in
that Nicolas Cage
and Meg Ryan movie,
yeah.
City of Angels.
I think it's called is it Cyrus or something? The song
Iris.
Iris.
Very popular hit.
The Goo Goo
Man,
Dolls.
that thing slapped.
By the way, if you're wondering if another rock star is turning into a middle-aged lesbian, I
There's another
recommend you
one.
look up the
What's
lead
his name?
singer of the Goo Goo Dolls.
That is.
Just Google Goo Goo Dolls lead singer.
What a terrible name for a band.
Seems a little weird.
John Resnick.
John Resnick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wanted to say Trent Reznor knew that was not correct.
You are not kidding.
Seriously.
Whoa.
He's kind of always had that thing going on, hasn't
Yeah.
he?
yeah,
but-
but now even more
he
so.
has, but
Yeah, I'm telling you.
holy crap.
Dude, if you showed up to a pottery wine class,
Wait a minute.
also diversity training exercise,
I'm sorry.
he would be
Wait,
leading.
time out.
Yeah.
Serious question.
Yeah.
This is a serious question.
Yeah.
Is he transitioning?
No,
Are you sure?
I am sure. He is just, I'm telling you, there is something about being a celebrity, especially a rock star. You reach a certain age,
Huh?
Is it the pointy, spiky hair thing? Is that what's
it's
going
like
on?
his hair got cut by a computer. Yeah, it's a thing. And then they do the Botox, and then the face gets pulled back, and then you get
Wow.
a sassy mom haircut like you're going to a PTA meeting.
I might go out there just to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's fascinating. Okay, Tuesday, Young Gravy, August 27th.
Young.
Oh, right.
That's-
Is that a rapper?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Young Gravy is he's a big tall guy, and I guess his whole thing is he sleeps with old ladies.
Oh,
That's like
He's
his
all about the Cougars, huh?
yeah, it's like his bit. Like
I've
Will,
choked a coop.
it happens. Will Ortner will love like Young Gravy. Like if you go to a Young Gravy concert, I'm guessing it's just a lot of Will Ortners.
Okay, then we have Josh Turner plays August 28th. I don't know who that is.
He sings like he's got one of the deepest voices
Oh,
in music.
did the Mariners just trade for him by chance?
Not quite. This is
Justin Turner.
this is basically Josh Turner.
Can't wait. Ludacris, August 29th.
Okay.
Boy, that's sad.
If you have hose and area codes, it's got to include all the area codes.
Daya, August 30th.
Don't know who that is.
Foreigner,
Yeah, hot-blooded.
August 31st.
Foreigner. I love it.
Yeah. And then September 2nd, the last show at the Oregon State Fair will be Huntley,
Don't know.
whoever that is.
Couldn't tell you.
I think Huntley is a country music act.
So I would assume the highlight of that is Ludacris, right?
Or Foreigner. Well, what's, I guess it's by the date, it'd probably be that last. Well, Foreigner plays that last Saturday night.
Yeah,
That's a big show.
Oh, Huntley's the guy that won The Voice.
Oh.
He's like a white dude with long braids.
But that's Memorial Day, right? September 2nd.
So we're saying Foreigner or Ludacris is the highlight of that thing?
I think it's Foreigner. Only
Alright.
because I like them.
Sure.
Foreigner's sneaky good. You should, look.
Yeah, they got hits.
Yeah, they do. They have a bunch. They have a bunch more than you think.
I don't
And that's
think-
going to play better at the fair than Ludacris is.
for sure.
Really?
Well,
I'll
think
bet
so.
I'll bet you Ludacris does real well.
who do you think does better at the fair, Foreigner or Ludacris?
See, I think Ludacris.
I think maybe Ludacris too.
Because
Well,
like
he might be a bigger draw, but I feel like the fair crowd is more of a Foreigner crowd than a Ludacris crowd.
I just feel like you don't know Salem very well. I think there's a lot of people like our age.
Yes,
Like,
I agree.
BTJ, if I told her that I was taking her to see Ludacris, she'd lose her S and be like, hells yeah.
Well, maybe she should be informed that he would be playing at the Oregon State Fair.
You shut your dirty mouth. That will be one of those, I guarantee, about a day or two before. She'll be like, did you know Ludacris is coming? And then I'm going to have to be like,
Oh, what? Oh, man.
And then she'll be like, can you get tickets? And I'll be like, maybe, but it's too late.
I'll try.
I didn't ask.
All right, that's in the news. Aug 16, 2024. Coming up next, we've got the hot, very hot 5 at 5, followed by Friday Fartabouts and Joey Harrington on the Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new
Welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Friday. It's your Sports Bros, Rob and Sukes.
Sup?
Big Sook's fired up. He's about ready to head out of here. We're gonna do the Joey interview, and then the club is gonna be Buck and I, as Sook will be going to Foo Friday.
I'm out
at Providence Park.
I got some. Well, I guess it's not day drinking. I got some
You got some catching up to do.
I got some catching up to do.
I'm guessing there have been some people out, although there's really no parking lot. So
I know.
can you?
Yeah, I don't know
Where do you pre-funk? Do you just?
There's some bars around there.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're packed.
Yeah.
What do you think the Kingston's like right now?
Oh gosh, I bet it's just an absolute. We're gonna Uber down there. I'm not even gonna try to park. We're just gonna Uber from the station and then Uber back. Yeah, it'll be Thunderdome down there. After the Timber games, we always go to Lamox. Great little hidden bar right there.
Where's that?
It's literally right next door to Providence Park. It's like it's a cool bar in that it's in a game store. You have to walk in.
What's it called?
Mox. I got the little sticker on the back of my computer. Where's it there? Yeah, Mox. So it's a Mox boarding house, and you walk in, and it's a game store. Like you play like Magic the Gathering and like Pokemon, and it sells that. You have to walk through. So anytime we take someone there for the first time, me and my buddy, you walk in and they're like, what? And you're like, just keep walking. And you walk to the back, and then there's a hallway, and then there's a big old kick-ass bar. And a lot of people play, like they buy games there and then they play them at the bar.
Yeah, I see that.
It's a kick-ass bar.
I've never even seen that place.
It's a little hidden gem. And now, there you go.
Is it really hidden though?
Well, I mean, you can't get there without walking through.
So you can't really even see the bar from the game?
No. When you walk in, you have no idea there's a bar there.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a cool little thing.
Is that a good idea to have a bar that no one can find?
It's kind of weird, but it's always, yeah, it's
kind of one of those like word of mouth things.
Yeah.
Like a speakeasy.
Yeah. It's just a cool, like I said, there's always people there, and there's always, it's.
How packed do you think that is right now?
I was going to say, just every bar down there is.
You think Dave Grohl's in there?
Well, he is known to, I guarantee you, he's probably out and about walking around in the city.
Is he?
Yeah.
That'd be cool to
Yeah,
run
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, it's like that time Mick Jagger rolled into, was it Nashville?
Something like that.
And he was having a beer.
It's just some
by
random
himself with a hat.
Yeah.
Just walking around, and these people were posting on social media about being so fired up to go to the Rolling Stone show and stuff. Mick Jagger was right next to them, sitting at the bar by himself, and they had no idea.
No clue.
Mick freaking Jagger.
Well, there's a lot of cool, like people post photos. Like the last year, Metallica played Staples Center, and people kept tweeting out. So Metallica, they've got the pit, most big rock bands do, and people were just tweeting out because in the middle of the pit, there was Dave Grohl. Like he goes to rock shows, and instead of sitting up in a luxury box or backstage, he goes down in the general admission of just shows. No security, no nothing, and just hangs out down there.
Do you think he really drinks Crown Royal?
Yes, he drinks Crown Royal and Coors Light.
Really?
Yeah.
He does like Crown Royal. Huh?
Yeah, he's a Crown guy. And he's the one that turned me on for his post show meal is champagne and Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Really?
Yeah. He drinks Dom.
He turned you on, meaning you do that
after
every show?
Well, after every show. I had no idea, and we tried it like a couple Christmases ago, although we didn't do the Dom. We went with a lesser champagne. Yeah, after shows, he drinks bubblies and eats Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Nice.
Yeah, and it is a delightful combo. I read about it in his book, and I was like, oh. And the bubbles and the salty of the chicken, it's really good.
I can't tell you the last time I had Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. Well, maybe a Popeyes.
All right, guys, we got to get to going here. Joey Harrington will be on at 5:30. Next segment will be our Friday Fartabouts. Coming up tonight in the club, I have the top 5 why didn't I do this earlier things and top places Americans think should be open 24 hours. Right now, the hot 5 at 5.
Hot topics, hot opinions,
Oh, golly, I'm hot today.
and hot air. It's time for the Hot 5 at 5.
That's hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 on Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
No, I mean it. That's very hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 with Isaac and Sue. Brought to you on The Fan by Victorico's Mexican Food, the most popular burrito spot in Oregon. Online at victoricos.com. Number 5.
Well, Jim Harbaugh's been flirting with Colin Kaepernick, not sexually, just to maybe have him on his staff as a coach.
I guess he said all along that he always thought Kaepernick would make a really good coach.
But it will not happen. At least not this year.
Yeah.
Harbaugh saying Kaepernick will not be a coach on the Chargers.
But he's open if Kaepernick wants to be a coach. He's got a place for him on his staff next year.
You know who is going to be a coach? Connor Stallions. He's back.
That's right.
Where is he?
He's going to be a defensive coordinator of a high school in Detroit.
I was going to say, my guess is the show cause penalty that he's about to get for the next 10 years would probably prevent him from that.
Those high school teams better hide their signs.
That's right. You know how easy it's going to be for him to just dominate in high school?
Child's
just stealing
play.
signs? It is child's
He's
play.
still selling vacuums out of his porch.
Wait, was he doing that before? Selling vacuums?
Yeah, he while he was at Michigan, when he was starting out, he buys like used and defective vacuums and fixes them and sells them.
Latest on Brandon Ayuk of the Niners. Of course, the report is that the Niners have a deal in place with the Steelers to trade him if they can't work out a deal, but they're really trying to hammer out a long-term deal to keep him in San Francisco. And according to Mike Garofalo of NFL Network, the Niners and Ayuk are only separated by the final year of the deal. They're saying Ayuk, they're on the same page generally the first 3 years, but the fourth year, it is a non-guaranteed year, and Ayuk wants that to be guaranteed.
So he wants a fully guaranteed deal, which usually doesn't happen a la Deshaun Watson, although you're seeing more and more of that. So basically, this thing is going to get done. He ain't getting done. They'll work this out.
You think so?
Yeah. If that's all that's separating this and they don't want to get rid of him,
He's been at practice, wearing team gear,
He'll-
like following along. It seems like they're trending towards this being over pretty quickly.
Number 3.
he'll stay in San Francisco.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's,
I guess.
it's both. It's best for both. It's the best situation for him, and look, it's arguably the best roster in the NFL. No brainer.
FedEx St. Jude Championship. This is the first of the three-leg FedEx Cup on the PGA Tour. Wrapping up the season. Hideki Matsuyama got robbed in London, but he's there and he's tied for the lead.
Without his caddy. His
Yeah.
caddy got robbed too, and his passport was stolen, so his caddy couldn't come along.
Yeah, I don't think he's there yet, is he?
I don't think so.
The caddy. Denny McCarthy, Hideki Matsuyama, 11 under. They are tied with a one-shot lead over Sam Burns. Scotty Scheffler, just 2 shots back. He is 9 under. Justin Rose and Nick Dunlap, 8 under.
That's a nice little leaderboard. Right
Good little
there.
leaderboard.
Good little leaderboard.
Victor Hovland shot a 63 out of nowhere. He is T7.
Number 2.
Our TV home, at least for our first hour, is Portland CW. They are adding more local sports programming. They will air 18 Oregon State baseball games
Oh, tasty.
in 2025.
All right, go Beavs.
Yeah, I think that's great because maybe you can find Oregon State baseball somewhere, but I don't know where. I just think they should be on more.
Exactly. I mean,
as
it's one of
good
the
as
best
they
teams in the country, and that's cool. So, the CW's been dipping their toes in the waters. They're running college football games. They got us, now the Beavs, and, there's some reports out there that they're going to be involved in the running Blazer games next year. So we haven't seen anything official on that, but
So the games that they will air on CW will also be able to be streamed for you bros
nice.
on coin.com.
Nice little deal right there for the Beavs.
Nice little deal.
Nice little deal.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Come too far together to stop now. Let's do it.
That's it, baby. Shut it from the rooftops.
Number 1.
Number 1.
And number 1, we are in the top of the 6th in Pittsburgh. The Mariners trail Paul Skeens and the Pirates. It's a tight one.
They do got a man on third
is.
with 1 out.
It is 3-2. Skeens, if you're wondering, has 6 strikeouts in 5 1/3. His over/under was 8.5 against the Mariners, who strike out more than any other team in baseball. The Astros are taking on the White Sox, but that's a little bit later. Cubs beat the Blue Jays 6-5 today, and do you need to know anything else?
Probably.
My Royals are winning.
I'm watching this at bat.
Yankees up 2-0 on the stupid Tigers. That's
Not
in
just
the
the Tigers, but the stupid Tigers.
Red Sox lead in Baltimore over the O's 4-1. Adley Rutschman, here's a note. He got scratched tonight.
What do we know? Do we know why?
Well, I think she really wanted him. Thank you.
I see what you did there.
Low back pain, I think they said.
Yeah, the old low back pain.
So not good.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
How do you know?
No one goes out for an extended period of time because of some sore back. He'll be fine.
I like the optimism.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted on the Mariners. That's your Hot 5 at 5. Victorico's Mexican food, the most popular burrito spot in Oregon. Order now at victoricos.com. Joey Harrington in 15 minutes. Our Friday Fartabouts are next on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt. I do reside in the belief. I look at Tennessee as like I would love to see them, especially if you give me they don't win the SEC, but they're hosting a playoff game at Neyland Stadium, and your team or some other big team has to go down to Knoxville in December or January and play a road game in front of 100,000 people. The spectacle of that would be incredible. So I'm rooting for Tennessee.
Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on 1080 The Fan.
Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
Crash and Tiger North 217 and
First and third.
Yeah.
1 out.
Yes.
Down by a run.
Let's go.
And I told you.
Against Skeens.
Against Skeens. And I'm like, here comes the double play. And sure enough.
Double play?
Double play.
Who hit into it?
That would be Dominic Gazzone.
Oh, God.
That guy.
That guy's back in there?
That guy's back in the lineup. And he's back killing rallies. I mean, Skeen hadn't looked sharp. They've got him on the ropes. Julio on third. He walks a guy to put first and third. Just get a ball into the outfield and you tie the game. And by the way, it was the weakest double play ball you've ever seen. He rolled it to the shortstop.
Is there such a thing as having somebody on the ropes when you're the Mariners? I don't think they ever have anybody on the ropes.
No, that's true.
Ever.
Well, look, how about this? Skeens wasn't looking real sharp.
Yeah, he's walked 4.
Yeah.
He's got 6 strikeouts. He's through 6 innings.
That might be it, by the way.
But he's 93 pitches.
They should be getting after him.
And they got a couple guys now up in the pen. So this may be it for Skeens.
It was the under.
Yeah, the under. If that's it for him, 6. And yet they still couldn't score with first and third with 1 out. So.
And that should shock you not.
It doesn't. It's just.
It should shock you not.
This is gonna be the Mariners.
It's time for our Friday fartabouts.
Let's go.
Would you like to know how Hideki Matsuyama got robbed?
Yeah, all I've heard is that he got robbed.
Well, he talked about it yesterday after his round. So basically, he was over in Paris, and he got the bronze at the Olympics, and he and his caddy and his coach decided on their way. So they're coming back to the States to do the FedEx Cup, and they decided to stop over in London for a night, and so they were out to dinner, and I guess Matsuyama said that his wallet was in Shota's bag. That's his caddy. And somebody just literally at dinner swiped Shota's bag. They didn't even know it happened. They didn't even see it.
They didn't see it. I was going to say, was it a snatch and grab or someone did on the covert?
No, it was covert because he said that Shota at one point just looked up and was like, hey, where's my bag?
Whoops.
And so their passports were in there except for Hideki's wasn't. If Hideki's passport was in there.
He's not in the tournament.
He's out.
Yep. And I said this at the time we discussed it. To me, it is fascinating that we live in a world that literally everything, billion-dollar deals are done on the telephone. I mean, everything is done on your phone. And yet, to leave or enter a foreign country, you need a tiny little laminated piece of paper. It is fascinating.
So he said that the coach, for whatever reason, may make it to the U.S. in time for the Tour Championship, but his caddy likely won't.
And that's the other one, too. So your passport goes missing. So you're telling me in 2 weeks' time, you can't get another one made, let alone.
And that some random can totally come and screw up your life just by swiping this little pocketbook.
So you're telling me on phones with all the digital markers that we have in biometrics, with thumbprints and iPrint identification, none of that is okay. None of that is good enough to say, this is me, I can enter the country. You need your little laminated, slippery piece of paper.
And your own country should have that documentation. Why can't they talk to the other? I mean, it feels like we should be beyond this.
Right. And I don't know how the coach is in and he's not. Or the coach can get back here, but
I don't know.
He can't.
Maybe he's, I couldn't tell you.
Well,
maybe he's got better status. I don't know at the passport.
Different type of visa, maybe? I don't know.
Well, how bad is this caddy going to feel if Matsuyama wins? He's in first place.
Well, here's the other one. If Matsuyama does win, does he do the, what am I paying you for, jackass?
No. Well, this guy that's caddying for him is another guy's caddy.
Oh.
He just called him because the other guy's out of the FedEx. So
he's just like, hey man, I need your caddy.
Well, I guess this guy, he's an Asian guy, and he caddies for another Asian player.
Yeah.
And I guess when Hideki called him, the guy was like, his jaw was on the floor. He's like, oh my God. Because Hideki's like the guy, the Asian player.
He is a big deal over there.
And he said, when Hideki calls, you take that call.
Interesting.
And he goes, oh my God, I couldn't believe it was Hideki Matsuyama. Hell yeah, I'll caddy for you.
And then he goes and
And
wins. And if he's going to win, that's a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe the caddy gets Wally pipped, though. I mean, he's like,
so.
Hey, about this guy over here. You think like after you win, you make a strong case. You're like, hey, just so you know,
I think you do.
I'm available.
It's like, hey, I'll stay on your bag.
Hey, we are 1 for 1. We want to ride this momentum, my man. Let's go.
Should the Vikings sign Ryan Tannehill? This question has come up.
Oh yeah, because they got no JJ.
Well, they have Sam Darnold, and I don't even know who else they have now.
I don't think that Mond is there anymore. See who they got. They got Nick Mullins, and they've got Jaron Hall, who is the BYU kid that they drafted a couple years ago, and they got Matt Corral.
So they have no one.
They have no one.
After
I mean, if you wanted to say they have Mullins, I mean, he's been around the block.
Do you think? Answer me this.
Yeah.
Tannehill or Darnold?
Oh, I think you take Darnold.
Really?
Point. I think Tannehill's pretty washed. I think there's a belief. I don't necessarily believe it, but a lot of people out there, for whatever reason, think that Darnold may have a little something. I think with Darnold, you go with the upside. I think Tannehill at this point is probably a bit washed. So, I mean, it depends.
Tannehill is 36.
Exactly. So, and he hasn't been good for a little bit. So I think if you want like this, if you were a championship level team and you thought, hey, I just need a steady hand, Minnesota's actually going to need someone that's going to be able to make plays. So I think Darnold is probably the way you would go.
I just think, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, you know how we do. We get ideas in our head about quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill could help somebody, at least as a backup.
Yeah.
I thought, but he's still sitting out there as a free agent.
Could be this year's Joe Flacco, who's sitting on a couch, and when somebody needs him, he shows up.
Sure. Well, he's a pro. You know what you're going to get out of him, and
I guess he's been really picky.
Tannehill.
Yeah.
And when you're that age and you've got those last few years, like you can't really afford to be.
Well, and see,
I'm sure he's got.
I disagree. I think he can be.
Yeah,
really
he
picky.
can.
Look. I think if you're being honest, I think if Tannehill never plays again, he's fine with it. The guy's made a ton of money. He's got a hot wife. He knows at this point that he can't. He's not dumb enough to think that he can go in and lead a bad team. Like, so it's the Joe Flacco thing. Like, you sit around and you wait for someone that's actually good.
Well, the Jets weren't good.
What?
The Jets, that's where Flacco went, right?
Yeah, but the Jets actually were good. The Jets had a defense and were a 7-win team. My guess is if you're Tannehill and like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of someone like the Cowboys or something, like, a team that's going to win 10 games. That makes a little more sense than the Minnesota Vikings. And there'll be guys that'll be available, like Zappe is going to be available. He'll be out of New England. So, I mean, you got someone like that. Like, once the preseason is over, you'll see some movement. But like, there's a guy that, that's a younger guy that you feel like maybe be able to do something for you, because either Milton or Zappe will be available in New England. They won't be able to keep all of those guys.
And last but not least, here on the Friday Fart About, we got to get on to Joey. But did you see the opening of the Intuit Dome in L.A. the other night?
Yeah,
no,
not great.
Night? Was that last night?
Was that last night or two nights ago?
What was it?
Well, that's the Clippers
arena, right?
New arena.
Bruno Mars was playing to open it, I think, right?
Yeah, it was Bruno Mars show, and everybody got stuck outside because they have facial recognition technology,
and it didn't work.
Well, and they also said they're going
down.
like ticketless and
cashless
and cashless. So you had to have their app, and their app broke.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like that can't be your backup.
So
like,
the show was supposed to start at 8, and he didn't go on till 10.
Oh my!
And a bunch of people were outside of the stadium,
just pissed.
Well, yeah, just kind of milling around.
Well, you imagine you spend $700 to go see Bruno Mars, and you're just sitting out and you can't get in.
I want a camera on Steve Ballmer for that period of time.
You spend whatever that couple $1 billion to build that thing, and you build it as this the high tech place with all the fancy equipment, and it doesn't work. I would be livid. And if you didn't get in, you get refunds on that stuff, because like all those sites that you buy those off of, that there is ticket guarantees on that. We went down to a Golden Knights playoff game once, and I bought them off of SeatGeek or something. And my tickets, it did not let me in. When I went to scan, it was giving me problems, and we missed a chunk of the game, and ended up getting a hold of SeatGeek, and they were very apologetic, and they got me in the building and found me different seats, but they had to refund my money because it was a whole thing. So I mean it's
a rough start.
That is a rough start, but that does scare me. Like Providence now, this is a ticketless event tonight. And they've got yeah.
Are they on your phone?
Yeah, they're on my phone.
So you just scan the barcode?
Yep. But that's
pretty normal.
Yeah, but that always jams me up. Like when everything is cashless and and it's like you don't have physical tickets. I mean, I just to this day it still scares me, because not always does technology.
Do you print
work.
them out when they
won't let
you can't even print them?
No.
Wow. Okay.
At a lot of the events now, like this one, when they even send you a thing saying this is a ticketless event. Printouts won't work. You can't even take screenshots of the ticket. It has to be the actual, like the little barcode thing on your phone.
Barcode.
Yep.
All right, that's Friday Fart About. We got to go, because coming up next, we missed him last week. A very special edition of Joey Harrington's visit with us, because it's the last story time.
Yeah, after that, it's Football Friday.
Football Friday begins next week. So Joey Harrington joins us. Coming up next, we'll find out if he's going to the Foos here on Foo Friday.
I'm going to say no.
See if he joins you.
Is he a Foo guy?
I don't know. We're going to find out next. Here's Buck.
charity, Rob, but let's be honest. There's only two of us. It's Madeline and I, and it's not like we're stocking inventory at a store. That was 20 years ago, and I don't even know what happened 20 minutes ago. So,
well, it's just one of those, like, I love seeing stuff like that. Like I said, I haven't seen one of those shirts in forever, so the fact that someone still has it and wears it, it's pretty cool.
So who's the act that you wish you would have seen back in the day? And then we'll get some football next.
That I wish I would have seen back in the day. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go way back, and I'm gonna go like Louis Armstrong, like that type of Miles Davis, Coltrane. Ooh, no, Jimi Hendrix. Like God, like all of these like transitional like musical moments, right? Like you go Louis Armstrong and the transition into like from big band to like say more contemporary jazz, and then you get Miles Davis, Coltrane, who just like completely took it in another direction. And then I'm thinking, then I go to Jimi Hendrix, who what was he, like 27 when he died? I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go Coltrane.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Coltrane playing with Miles Davis. There you go.
Damn. All right, more with Joey Harrington next. We'll find out what's going on down at Oregon camp. He has the inside scoop. Big news.
I do?
Yeah, he's going to break it.
Coltrane
that's right,
news.
I do.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. It's Mods PDX, Joey Harrington, the final story time of the year. We continue next on The Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Oregon athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Oh, hello there.
Hi.
Hi. I'm trying to find my story.
It's Division I football!
That much we know.
Yep, that one. Let's see. Well,
what was the topic?
It was baseball. I had an Oregon Duck baseball player. Where did he go?
This is going great.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I just tag it out.
Yeah, the future of Mods PDX, the future of building is here.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
The Ducks are on a roll.
They have hammer
Joey Harrington, just a couple of minutes left, Joey. Spent too much time talking about La Musica.
Well, it's a great question. I love the What Show. Everyone should have one of those if you could go
What's
back.
yours?
I got two. One would be
I didn't know we got two.
Well, I got two.
Pick one.
And I don't know. Well,
pick one.
One's dead and one I just missed. Queen. Okay. I wish I could see Queen.
That's a good one.
I never got to see.
I want three now. I want three.
And my other one is because I got to see him, and he's one of my all-time favorite artists. And unfortunately, I saw him at the end, and it was the worst show I've ever been to, and it bums me out because I love him so much. I would like to see like 1975 Bob Dylan, because people think Bob Dylan is this mumbly, kind of old man. You got to go listen to like live Bob Dylan. Listen to like the bootleg series that he put out, like 70s Bob Dylan. Those were rock shows, and he's the greatest singer-songwriter of all time. He was a hell of a performer. I just saw him when he was like 70 and doing weird country music, and I just wish I could see peak 70s Bob Dylan.
I think Paul Simon and James Taylor would like to have a word with your comment about greatest singer-songwriter of all time. Maybe Carole King, too. Anyway.
Their music didn't change the world. Football. Bob's did.
Oh, for God's sake. You're telling me that Carole King, James Taylor didn't change the world during war? Okay, we're going. We're going.
Just saying, one person's music changed the world and was the voice of an entire generation and movement. And
his name was Bob Marley.
That was pretty good too, but I'm going Bob. Greatest singer-songwriter of all time. Rolling Stone has him as the second greatest artist of all time behind this group maybe you've heard of called the Beatles.
Who?
And you know what? In the words of Ricky Bobby, Rolling Stone is just dumb.
That's just dumb.
That's just dumb. Okay, let's talk football.
Yeah,
football.
Okay.
Here.
I have one camp question teed up here. Have you been watching
No.
Have you seen what's it called? That Team Out West. You watch that at all? The Oregon behind the scenes kind of Hard Knocks style show.
They have one for Oregon?
Yeah, you can catch. It's on YouTube.
Shut up! I didn't know that.
Yeah, any of their media channels.
Yeah, you can. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Ty Burrell
they do a good job.
does the. I mean, it's a dead ripoff of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Ty Burrell does the voiceover, but anyway, it's kind of cool to see camp. And I thought watching it today, I thought of you, and I thought, the Ducks they're now the hunted this year. So from the inside, from an insider's perspective, what's it like to be the hunted and not the hunter, and how does that change things for Oregon at this point?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I think Oregon has been the hunt. It's different this year. I understand that they are the hunted, but with the Big Ten, there's three other hunteds as well, right? It's not. I think Oregon has lived in this space for a while now, and they've gotten used to it, right? Like when we became the hunted my senior year, it was new, it was unique, it was like I'm trying to think. Like I would agree that they are the hunted. However, I would also expand on that and say that this might be their best chance. I mean, if we're going to take away maybe 2014 and Marcus, but this might be their as good a chance as they've got for a national championship. This team is loaded.
Yeah, preseason top 5 is the reason I bring that up. I mean, they haven't been this high really ever. The Mariota year that you're talking about, they were preseason top 5. That's the last time they were this high. So they have been the hunted, but not to this degree.
No, people. I mean, they're number 3. Everyone's talking about them. They have the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, and now with the expanded playoff, I mean, you can stub your toe twice. If Oregon's 10-2, they're still in. So, I mean, that's. I'm not going to say there's a guarantee to a playoff spot, but they should get into the dance at least.
And that's the interesting. I'm assuming you're talking about Dylan Gabriel.
He's the Heisman favorite.
And that's my hesitation. Not because I think that he's going to be anything other than incredible this year, but he's new, right? And so I don't have that feeling. Like when Bo Nix came back last year, I was like, oh yeah, confident and it's we're the hunted. Like having a new quarterback always. You can have talent everywhere else. Like everybody else is returning, but we have a new quarterback. And for whatever reason, that just gives me a little bit of pause. And like I said, he's going to go break the all-time touchdown record for, NCAA passing touchdown record. He's going to be phenomenal. He's an incredible player, an incredible person, and is going to have a great season. But still, the fact that he hasn't played yet, I always just pump the brakes a little bit. Like it just, there's something about having a returning starter at quarterback that makes me that much more confident.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you having played, how long do you think is a realistic time frame for that sort of feeling to go away for you, for him and you?
2 games.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't anticipate it's going to take long. I mean, that's, it was with, remember with Bo, he stubbed his toe coming out of the blocks against Georgia, and then just got locked in and went bop, bop, bop,
Yeah,
bop, bop.
that's true.
And this is different. Like Dylan Gabriel is different than Bo Nix coming over. Bo came over with some baggage. Like, ooh, remember the conversation? Are we getting good Bo or bad Bo? Like which? And there's no conversation around that with Dylan. It's the question is he going to be phenomenal in game 1, or is it going to take him till halftime of game 1? Yeah. Like that's so get 2 games under your belt for me, and I'm right back in there. But still, there's this always that little bit of like, we don't have a returning starter, which just makes me a little bit on edge.
Understood. Well, it's Idaho and Boise State.
It helps.
So
yeah,
not Ohio State.
You mean we don't go to Dublin?
No. Although Georgia Tech, that's the same thing. You could play Georgia Tech on the moon. It wouldn't matter. It's Georgia Tech.
Speaking of Ohio State, do you guys have your tickets yet?
Yeah, we get them through the station.
Shut up.
In your face.
We are home of the Ducks.
Man, so when you get your tickets in hand and go scalp them, how much are you going to get?
We can't do that.
As far as you know, we won't be doing that.
We can't do that. That's illegal for us.
Somebody asked me the other day, like, hey, do you have tickets? I was like, no, I gave up my season tickets, a few years ago once kids were, playing soccer every weekend. I'm not getting down there as much. And they're like, oh man, we're looking for tickets. I was like, StubHub, or you can just grab some. He said standing room only is starting at $500.
Damn. Yeah, that's probably.
I went on and looked. I was like, are you kidding? Like standing room is $500. Like the next ticket is like $1,300.
Biggest game in Autzen history.
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Not even close.
Not even close.
It's going to be like 1-3 or 2-3. It's the biggest game, at least right now on the schedule. It's the biggest game in college football this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's nuts.
All right.
Yeah.
But I will not be selling unless, DM me someone. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm calling him out. I'm getting him fired for that. You can't do that.
Prove it.
I bet you could pull in a cool $2,000 for that tick there, Rob. What do you think?
Would never do that.
That's some green fees down at Shadow. Yeah. That's a week.
It is, but it's not worth my job.
Again, just talk to me.
Well, maybe you were going to quit or you're going to retire anyway. All good things got to come to an end, says Bob Dylan, right?
You mean the greatest singer-songwriter of all time?
Every rose has its thorn, says Slash.
That's Bret Michaels. He is not.
I know.
The greatest.
Oh my God. All right. Talk to you next week. Thank you.
See ya.
The great Joey Harrington, Mods PDX. The future of building is here. Enjoy the foos. We want a full report on Monday.
I'm out.
We'll be back with Club 1080 on the Fan.
Dusty here for Victorico's Mexican Food to tell you about one of
Shut the hell up.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Souk.
It does go well with a chicken.
I didn't know hanging out with you was making me smarter.
Full disclosure, Morty, it's not. Temporary superintelligence is just a side effect of the mega seeds dissolving in your rectal cavity.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and once those seeds wear off, you're gonna lose most of your motor skills, and you're also gonna lose a significant amount of brain functionality for 72 hours, Morty. Starting right about now.
At the club 1080, the hottest spot north of Milwaukee. At the club 1080, Souk and Rob's passion are always the fashion at the club.
America, yeah! Fat, uneducated beer! Yeah, flags! Yeah, trucks, balls! Yeah! Screw the learned people! No! Yeah, flags!
Welcome back. Nice to have you along. It really is. It's the club. We finally got rid of Big Souk. He's out of here. Went to the Foos. The big show down at Providence Park. Should be a good time tonight out there. I look forward to the report on Monday. You know, things like the acoustics, the hot scene.
The hot scene.
You know.
The pit.
The pit, yeah. The crowd. You know, what are the Foos, what do they close with? I got to be honest with you, Buckley. I'm going to be honest right now on the radio.
Okay.
I don't really know a whole lot of Foo Fighters. I really like Dave Grohl. I think he's wonderful. And they're a good band. I just don't... I haven't really gotten into them.
Yeah.
So what do they close? Like, what is their big...
Maybe Times Like These? Or...
Hero?
Yeah, could be Hero.
There goes my hero.
Yeah, maybe.
That's how it goes.
I really like the song Monkey Wrench, but they won't close with that.
Yeah, that's a good tune. Forgot about that one.
But I'm like you. I like Dave Grohl, and I like their sound, but I can't say that I know their catalog well. I don't.
Why do you think that is? When we like a band and we like an artist, but we don't really like them?
Well, I don't know. I mean, at least for me, I feel like part of it, like growing up in the pre-on-demand like iPod generation, where I liked songs and you'd hear individual people's songs on the radio, and then but you wouldn't hear the whole album unless you went and got the whole album. And they were one of those bands that I think probably preceded the iPod and stuff like that. And maybe that's part of the reason why I never really got into them, because I would hear them on Live 105 or whatever, but I'd hear one song, or I'd hear a song of theirs in a movie.
Do you have a band? Okay, so I was thinking about this. Grohl, I'd like to see, just because I think he's awesome, and I think he does a good show, and I just would like to watch him work. I'd say the same about Mick Jagger. Like, I'm not a huge Rolling Stones guy. I think they're phenomenal, but I would like to go see Mick Jagger work.
The YouTube chat telling us that Everlong was the closing song that he used, or they used a few nights ago in California.
Everlong, okay.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, that was a big hit. Do you have a band where whoever the lead is, the front man or the front woman, they would make you go see, like you would want to go see them even though maybe you're not a huge fan of the music?
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Like, who would that be for you? Because I think Grohl would be right. Grohl and the Foos would be right up there. Mick would be up there.
That's a great call. I mean, and I would say Mick and the Stones. Like, I didn't really grow up listening to the Rolling Stones, but I like a lot of their songs, and he's a rock legend. I think really anytime you get a chance to see someone who has been a legend and it might be their last time around, like that's a cool opportunity to take. Like, many years ago, there's a festival, it's kind of like Coachella, but it's in San Francisco, called Outside Lands, and Stevie Wonder played at it. And I'm like, I'm not a big Stevie Wonder fan, but I'm like, I gotta go see Stevie because he's Stevie Wonder and he's greatness. The following year was Tom Petty, and who's obviously now gone. So I think that, and I really like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers catalog, so that's probably a bad example. But I think that for me, it's often like just acknowledging the legend of somebody and saying, oh, if that person comes around and I got a chance, I've got to see him.
Yeah, I really regret when Joey and Souk and I were talking there about the act we wish we had seen. I really regret never having seen, never having gone to a Pink Floyd show.
Oh, yeah.
Because they came through. I remember I was at KU, and they came through Kansas City with their big tour back in the 90s. And, man, of course, they don't play together. They're old now, but they don't get together. It's like, I really dropped the ball on that one. But I think Grohl, I'd go see Foo just to see Dave Grohl.
To see that energy, yeah.
I went and saw Van Halen, and I love Van Halen. I like them a lot more than Foo Fighters. And David Lee Roth was the front man at the time.
Okay.
This was, not that long, maybe 10 years ago, whenever they came through at the old amphitheater up there in Clark County. And I was really excited that it was David Lee Roth because, again, he's kind of got that flair that I want to see. Oh, my God, he was so bad.
Really?
Oh, he was so bad.
That's a bummer.
So bad. The band sounded great. He was awful.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish Sammy was there now. But, well, actually, does Sammy play with? Well, no, because Eddie died, right? And Alex.
I'm out of my depths on this 70s rock and roll stuff. I mean, 80s? When did Van Halen start? First album?
Well, they probably did start in the 70s, but I think of them as 80s. Dave Matthews. Okay, so he mentioned Joey loves Dave Matthews. You've got Foo Fighters. You've got Green Day's coming here. That's another band that, Billy Armstrong's pretty cool. I'm not a huge...
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Or Billy Joe Armstrong. I'm not a huge Green Day guy, but I'd go see him.
When I was in college, I did take the chance to drive up from Eugene to Portland to see Green Day on their American Idiot tour.
How'd that go for you?
It was fantastic. We were GA. I think I was a sophomore in college, and a Newfound Glory opened up for him. Yeah, good show, good punk rock show. I caught one of Billy Joe's picks that he threw into the crowd with his guitar.
Really? What'd you do with it?
I don't know. It was on my desk for a while, and then didn't make it
right
through college.
Here, and then you lose it. A pick. Well, I tell you, I think Dave Matthews, of those bands, I think Dave Matthews would be the one I'd want to see most.
I've seen Dave live, and it was really good, but it's kind of like it's kind of got that ongoing jam session feel to it, whereas I feel like something with Grohl, it's going to be like pointed and boom, and now we're doing this, whereas 100%. Dave will kind of just go, and he'll go back and forth. And,
100%. I just like their music a little better.
And it's a good show, but I'm thinking that's probably apples and oranges.
Well, they're legendary for their shows, aren't they?
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
Matthews Band?
Oh, yeah. But the reason is not because they pull out big pyrotechnics or because they have big, huge reveals or whatever. It's because they go forever.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite frontmen was always David Byrne. So
he's the frontman for who?
Well, he was with oh my God, Jesus, holy crap!
What's his name? I'll look it up.
David Byrne. Brain fart. Help me out.
I'm trying to.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the listeners.
Oh.
God, I feel like such an idiot. An idiot. Talking Heads.
Talking Heads.
Jesus.
Okay, I like Talking Heads. Well, I like two of their songs.
David Byrne's the man. And so if he did anything, I'd go see it. Just because he's older now, but he's out there. Another one would be Eddie Vedder. I've seen Pearl Jam, but I'd just go see
David Byrne's 72.
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's a good dude, though. I'd go see Eddie Vedder just to see it, or go see Pearl Jam just to see Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too.
I'd go see the Goo Goo Dolls.
I liked the Goo Goo Dolls when I was in middle school or whatever it was. I had that album, Black Balloon, I think it was called.
Here's a text, Vancouver 4 text. I just dropped my 12-year-old son off and his mom, my ex, at the show down there at Providence. Let me tell you, it sounded amazing, and there are tons of hots.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll get the full report on Monday from Sukanik. He's down there with his son. Should be fun. 30,000. I like the outdoor. I like that venue. Like that. That's a rad.
It feels like it'd be a good place to see a show.
That's a rad place to have a show right there.
It seems
I'm glad
like
they did that, because it feels like to me that we have a lot of good small venues, but nothing big other than the Moda Center, and that's just an arena.
Yeah.
This is...
And even when they do that, it's like, they'll drape off half the... I mean, it depends on who the show is, but, like, it can feel cavernous and, like, not that intimate. And I think when you pack that many people into a pretty small space, it's going to be a good atmosphere
Something
tonight.
about being outdoors. All right, well, everybody enjoy the show tonight. Stay safe out there. When we come back, the top 5 why didn't I do this earlier things. This is Club 1080 on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt. They're not Clemson and Florida State, and I don't know what's hard about saying that. When that gets, it just makes sense in my brain that when they get their stuff sorted, the ACC will have a lot to figure out. Yormark clearly wants to expand and keep up with the Big Ten and the SEC. And so it's like you can make a prediction today. Is it right if it's 4 years from now?
Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on 1080 The Fan.
Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
Pretty slow drive on northbound 205 from 26 to the Glen Jackson Bridge, but over the bridge you move well into Vancouver. North 5 is just slow from 405 south to the Interstate Bridge. I'm Claire Beverly with traffic.
This traffic report brought to you by ESS. Looking for a rewarding job with flexibility? ESS is hiring substitute teachers and paraprofessionals in Oregon. Enjoy a flexible schedule, weekly pay, and great benefits. Make a difference in your community. Learn more and apply today at ESS.com. Join us at ESS.
Your home, your savings, your children. Everything that matters to you is at stake in a divorce, and for many of our clients, a divorce was unwanted. This is Rick Jones. At Goldberg Jones, our team of experienced attorneys handle every aspect of a divorce and custody case. When stakes are high, you need a lawyer you can trust.
All right, welcome back. It's Rob here. Buck's over there.
What's up?
Got some bros doing some... What are those guys doing out there?
Hell if I know.
We've got some dudes wandering around our office doing...
They're in vests and hard hats.
Yeah.
I'm going to go close the door.
I know what they're doing. I think they're up to no good. Stealing all of our prizes. You know, we have some of the leftover Fan Golf Classic prize bags back there. Those guys are probably stealing our batteries. There's batteries in there. Batteries.
I hope they're out there listening to you say this.
Batteries and chips. You seen those prize bags back there?
I don't think so. I did see Suki eating some chips before he left.
Yeah, he always... So there's like 50 of them back there.
Bags of chips?
Well, no, just the gift bags from our golf tournament. They just... I don't know whether they made too many or whatever. But, you know, they never put crap in those things. They just... It's like batteries and bottles of water and coupons for, you know, mayonnaise. Nothing
Coupon
great.
for mayonnaise.
Well, like crappy golf balls or whatever. You know how they are, gift bags. Well, they have chips in there, or they did put a bag of chips in each one of them. I think that Suk has taken every bag of chips out of each one of those bags and eaten them over the last 50 days. And the reason I know this is because I was just back there hunting through all of them for a bag of chips because I was hungry.
You couldn't find one?
No, I found one.
Oh, okay.
But only one. And batteries. I think these are from Battery Exchange. You ever heard of Continental batteries?
Battery Exchange with an X?
Yeah.
I've not heard of Continental, no.
Long-lasting alkaline batteries.
If you say so.
All right, I have the top 5 why didn't I do this earlier things. Now, one of these, Buckley, I haven't even done yet, and I've still got it on the list. That's how confident I am in it.
Wait, what? So I don't...
Wrap your head around that.
I still need some context for what you're actually saying.
Bitch.
Okay.
Why didn't I do this earlier?
Okay.
You know.
And so these are... but the thing you're referencing... You're
I
saying
haven't
you already
even done
know one of them, or it's something that you haven't done yet that
No,
you know you need to do?
I haven't done it yet, but I know when I do it, it's going to be on the list of why didn't I do this earlier.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Number 5, TSA pre-check.
Mm.
Why didn't I do this earlier? No idea. If you don't have TSA pre, get it.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to throw stones, but if there's no good reason for you not to have it.
100%.
It's
100%.
It makes traveling so
much better.
easier.
And a lot of credit cards will just pay for it for you. It's only like $80 for I think a couple of years or something. I don't know if it's $80 a year. Maybe it's $80 a year. I don't know. It's not that expensive.
I don't even think it's per year. I think it's like a one-time fee.
No, because it renews. Mine renewed recently, and my credit card.
I felt like you get like 2 or 3 years worth.
You might be right.
Before it renews, because I don't think I have to pay it every year.
I think you're right. I think it's like $80 every couple 3 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, credit card just pays it. Wonderful. You don't have to. You get to go in the TSA pre-line, feel all. You can kind of puff out your chest walking through that line like I'm
just gonna get through there quicker than you.
Rich.
Sorry, idiot.
That's right. You peasants. I'm over here in the good line. That's number 5. Number 4, I haven't even done it yet, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to get one of those electric push carts.
The golf ones?
Yeah. For my golf clubs.
Okay.
I'm going to do that. I just haven't taken the plunge yet. Maybe next year. Well, next season.
Wait, so this is your own made-up list?
Yes.
I thought this was like I thought you like...
No.
This is one of those survey type things, or... Okay.
This is me.
Okay.
Ya boy.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of these. And the reason I'm so confident that it's going to be a why didn't I do this earlier type of thing is because everybody that I have talked to that has one swears by it.
Okay.
Especially old guys like me.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't know. I carry a lot now. Or in the summer, I'll carry my golf bag.
I almost always carry, but I just use the regular push cart, and I feel like... And I
No,
have,
that's
I have
not,
my...
wait. That's not carrying.
Oh. Okay.
A push cart, that's not
excuse me, walking.
Yeah, walk. Okay. But when you carry your bag, I have a little carry bag.
Yeah, I don't want
get
to carry.
sore.
Yeah. So why don't you just use a walking cart, like a push cart that's
Well,
not electric?
I do. But I'm talking about the next level, bro. And the next level, bro, is the electric push cart where you just you're basically, if you don't know, you put your clubs on it, you strap your clubs to it, and it just has a little remote control, and your clubs, you just guide your clubs, they just walk along with you.
Now, if you want to be really big ball, and you can do the one that's like programmable and has the Bluetooth, and you can just set it to follow you. So you don't you don't even need to use the remote. You're
I've
just like,
seen that.
I'm walking over here and my bag's following me.
Now, do you trust that?
I mean,
should I trust that?
I don't think it's going to kill you. Like, I think your clubs probably also won't end up in the water on their own, but, you have concerns about all kinds of technology.
There's somebody that says on the Vancouver 4 text line, I'm banking on everyone getting TSA pre, and then the normal peasant line is faster.
Might be waiting a while.
Yeah. Another one says, you idiots, don't advertise TSA pre. The more people use it, the slower the line will be.
I did, yeah.
That's
When that text came through, I realized, oh, yeah, we might be making it slower.
Hey, you guys, I'm just kidding. TSA pre sucks.
Yeah, you don't want it. Too expensive, not worth it.
That's right. The electric push cart, though, and somebody's giving me crap. He said, you said you were going to buy that last year. No, that was this year I said I was going to buy it. I said I was flirting with it, and I'm going to do it.
I think I remember you bringing it up maybe in the springtime.
Yeah,
when
it was this year.
When you were playing around with somebody who had it, and you're like, I didn't think I needed one of these. I think I need one of these.
Yeah, and I've played with enough guys that have them. They swear by. All right, top 5. Why didn't I do this earlier? Things. Number 3 for me is LASIK surgery.
Okay.
If you guys have bad eyes, dude, LASIK is so worth it. It is so easy, and I had mine 20 years ago. I'm sure it's even easier now. And they have other different procedures like RLE and all this other stuff now. And this is not an advertisement. I'm just telling you, that LASIK thing, dude, that was a piece of cake. And I was a guy who I had terrible eyesight. I had to wear contacts and all that crap. Contacts are the worst. LASIK, the best. Get it. Write the check.
Yeah, I've heard, I don't need LASIK, but I've heard people, everyone I know who's had it has said it was great. I have not heard one person be like, no, not for me. I wouldn't recommend it.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Number 2, starting your own business. Now, this is on my list because my wife did this.
Oh.
And, man, it's another one of those things where you talk to anybody who has started their own business, they're like, why didn't I do this sooner? And I'm telling you, that's exactly how I feel. And that's how she feels. Start your own business.
Interesting.
It's great.
Is it?
Yes. It's great. She works from home. You know, she's a therapist. So
I did start my own business between jobs, and, wasn't that great.
What'd you do?
I basically did freelance production work. So I had, I was doing helping. I was doing some corporate podcasts and little videos and stuff. I don't know. It was difficult to generate consistent work, and running your own business is pretty hard. So I think if you have everything set up and you know exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
Well, she didn't.
I just think it's like.
But there,
I absolutely see the virtue in it. I'm not saying people shouldn't, but there are also plenty of people who decide to start a business and they're like, oh, I'm in way over my head.
Yeah, and it depends on what your spouse is doing.
Sure.
You know, if you've got the household like we do, I've got I got the corporate gig, steady. Been there a long time. It's easier for her to stick her neck out and start her own business, and with.
Well, that's how this came about for me.
Yeah, because your wife has that.
NBC Sports closed when they lost the Blazers, so they eliminated everyone's jobs there, and so I was like, well, I've got a kid at home. Rather than trying to jump right back into working at a place of business, let's see if I can do this for myself for a while. And it was mixed results. There was a lot of positive with it too, but didn't take off as like a full-time thing.
And number 1 on the list of top 5, why didn't I do this earlier things, at least for me, go to therapy. It's an easy one. Well, actually, it's not that easy.
It isn't.
I think a lot of people struggle with it, at least taking the plunge initially. But once you do it, you'll love it. Basically, you just get to sit and talk, and mainly about yourself.
And
that's what people want to do anyway, right?
It is shocking and surprising how powerful that is.
100%.
I think everyone who hasn't been to therapy thinks that's dumb. If I know all these things about myself, or if I'm just going to go talk about them, why do I need the therapist?
Yeah.
I can just say them to a friend or to anybody. It's different, man. It just hits different. And I think a lot of people, and I was definitely in this category, feel like that going to a therapist is like some admission that something is horribly wrong, that you can't, get over a problem on your own or something like that. That doesn't have to be the case. You can just self-improvement is achievable just by going to therapy, even if you have things dialed in and everything together.
And not only that, but the therapist has tools that you don't have.
Yes.
And you may think you know where stuff comes from, or what you've got going on and why you do the things you do, but you don't. You got to keep digging, and you got to have a therapist help you dig. And when you do that, man, there could be some uncomfortable stuff, but in the end, growth is the key. They'll help you grow.
Well, the tools you speak of, they will push you to think in ways about yourself, if they're good, that you don't naturally. And that's
right.
important
That's
because again, like none of us have it all figured out, and having an outside perspective from a professional is incredibly helpful.
Yeah, they can help. And those, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight, Club 1080, the top 5. Why did I not do this sooner?
Well, did you see the one that came in on the Vancouver 4 text line? Why didn't I do this sooner?
What?
Buy an air fryer. I use that pretty much every day. Beats the hell out of me why anyone's cooking in an oven or microwave.
Really? Well, see, I don't do anything in the kitchen, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. We have an air
Is that
fryer and
true?
we use it all the time.
My wife has one. I don't think she uses it all that much, though. I don't know. I'll
It's
have to
really
ask.
good for things that are supposed to be crispy, like chicky nugs or fries or tots or probably a lot of stuff you're not eating. It's good for kid food.
Here's another one that says, why didn't I do this sooner? Cash App. It's so handy.
And I actually, I think I have Cash App, but it's basically Venmo. I mean,
Yeah.
if
I go Venmo.
Yeah, I do too. And if you're not on that, why would you not want to be able to text your friends money back and forth?
Yeah. I mean, Venmo, come on. So easy.
Basic.
Very basic. Cash is the same thing. Cash App.
Yeah.
Kind of like the old, or the new PayPal.
PayPal, I think, owns Venmo.
Do they?
Pretty sure.
All right, well, guys, that's my list. You can text yours, Vancouver 4 text line. 503-864-6326. All right, coming up next. Now, this is not my list, but we can add to this list.
Okay.
It's the top places Americans think should be open 24 hours.
Oh.
We'll do that next. Here's Buck.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Sook's out at the Foos. Got Buckley, Isachi. What's up? Isachi. What places do you believe Americans want open 24/7 that are not?
Oh,
I've got a new survey here. There are a lot of things on the list.
Yeah. I mean, the first one that I saw one of our listeners text in, which I think is a good answer, is bars. I mean, I think they're inevitably going to be people. I don't think that's going to be the overwhelming majority necessarily, but I can see that being the thing.
Really? Like, you really need I mean, bars...
Well, no one needs it, but people who are there till last call probably want it to be, like, over whenever they say it's over.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about gas stations? A
Aren't
lot of gas stations are not 24 hours.
But some are, right? Like, you can usually find gas.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been on road trips where you better get gas before everything shuts down kind of a thing, and I think that's real.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I've always kind of thought you could always find one.
Well, most times you don't need gas in the middle of the night, or whatever. But I'm trying to think of, because this essentially leans towards things that probably aren't open weekends or evenings for the most part, because you're talking about normal business hours being Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 type of deal. So I'm trying to think of what stuff people would want.
Well, you could say gym. I mean, I'm not a gym guy, but
yeah,
should gyms be 24/7?
Well, 24-hour fitness does that for you.
Oh, yeah, it's right in the name. What about, casino? I love casinos.
Yeah.
They're open typically.
Yeah, they're
24/7.
They
That's
operate,
great.
Yeah.
I think the bar thing, I think you're doing everybody a favor by closing down,
Oh, 100%. You should. But I think there are people out there that think I should be able to decide for myself.
I'm going to drink till 8 in the morning.
Yeah. If I want
and then
to.
it doesn't close, so I'm going to go till noon and then probably 5.
Trying to think of what other things fit in that category
Happy
specifically that I want open at night that aren't.
What about a pizza joint? Munchies.
Yeah, I mean,
because a late night Taco Bell crap, get out of here with that.
So you're saying a better than fast food quality restaurant?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call.
Correct. And I just said pizza just because I'm thinking drunk munchies.
Well, yeah, fast casual, like
you're high.
I mean, it could be Chipotle, it could be whatever, but yeah, something beyond McDonald's, Taco Bell.
All right, here's what was on the list. This is what This is a U.S. poll. U.S. adults. These are the things that they wish would be open 24/7. One is the number one thing on here is grocery stores. 56% said grocery stores should be open 24/7, which I think would be great, but there's no. They're just too, staffing and they're just big.
Yeah, it's really hard to do. Although, there are some that are.
Are there?
Yeah, I think that
around here.
Yep, there. I've had to look before. I can't remember. Oh, you know what? It was like when I was used to call the high school football games, like at Southwest Washington and things like that. I wouldn't be getting back into the area until 11 or later some nights, and a couple times needed to go to a grocery store. The Winco was open, but nothing else was. So I feel like most regions, and maybe it's not fair to qualify, but I feel like most regions have something like that that's open 24 hours, but not all.
Somebody on the Vancouver Ford text line says, any parks? I do find it kind of odd, and I get why, but it's like, why do parks close down? Yeah?
Yeah.
You just go in there and
I think because
swing a little
they
bit.
think that anybody in a park at 2 a.m, doesn't really have a good reason to be there.
I get it, but it'd be nice to just not have to worry about that.
Yeah, but that's reality.
Pharmacies, number 2 on the list.
Yeah,
54%.
That's a really good call.
That's a great one because I would go way off hours for anything.
Yeah, anything that you needed, and it shouldn't be like a grocery store where you need a ton of people to be available. Like you could have one person,
overnight.
Okay, if there's 6 people in line, they're just gonna have to wait, but at least they're open.
Yeah. Following that up, 29% said primary care doctor. But I don't.
It just doesn't feel realistic.
Well, you can't even see him anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if your doctor isn't working, like. What good does it have?
So I got a little something controversial here. I've made a change in my life. I've told you I went to a naturopath.
Yeah.
And she's wonderful. She's really helped me a lot in my life in terms of just preventative, in terms of, just preventative and things that I eat. Just overall good health. Okay? The natural way, not, steroids and all that crap.
Ozempic.
Yeah, exactly. But I have actually replaced her, or she has replaced my primary care doctor. I have punted on my primary care doctor.
Oh, interesting.
And it wasn't because he was not good. It's just, I just don't.
Didn't feel like you needed both? Kind of redundant?
Yeah, and the idea is if I'm healthier, and look, you're still going to, people are going to give me crap. Oh, you got COVID. Yes, I got COVID. But a naturopath isn't going to just make it so that you don't get sick. That's going to happen. But the primary care guy, he was good, but I think more preventative is the way to go. And then the next thing on the list here is...
but does this naturopath, do they, let's say you have some medical ailment that's not related to preventative, does the naturopath still help with that too, or would you need to go back and find a
specialist? See, here's my plan. Now, I don't know how this is going to work because it's only my first year of doing this, but I'm going naturopath. I check in. She checks my blood and all that stuff. If I get sick, and this is another one that people want open 24/7, but I think they are. I don't know where this came from, but the urgent cares, aren't those open 24/7?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know why they're on this list, but they are. So urgent care, if you need anything, obviously immediate, because it used to be you get sick and you call your doctor. Well, you can't even get a hold of your doctor for 3 months now, right?
Yeah, I need to get a new doctor. Mine moved.
Yeah, see, that's horrible because
good
luck.
He got it was a doctor in Beaverton, Providence Health or whatever, and he took a job in Austin. I'm like, well, okay.
So I'm much healthier now because I went to a naturopath. Again, doesn't mean I'm not going to get sick. I will. I do. I have.
More COVID, probably.
Well, but that's part of why I went to her is she specializes in the immune system, and I've always had trouble getting really sick. When everybody else gets the sniffles, I go down in a heap, and I don't know why. And so we've started to explore that. And
because you're a little bitch.
That's what she said. It was unbelievable. I was like, what? I didn't sign up for this. Anyway, she's helped me a lot, and I think we know what's going on, and we're working on it. It's great. So then I can go to urgent care if anything is urgent, and then a specialist if I need, further, So that's my new plan. I'll let you know how it goes. Is that exciting?
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something probably a little bit jarring about just punting on your general physician. Yeah. Maybe not.
Well, he didn't. Again,
if you're not using.
Listen, I like the guy, but he didn't do anything that she can't do. All he did was check my blood and stick his fingers in my ass.
Nice.
Now she doesn't do that because you can check the prostate now with just blood work. But thank God.
Right in the butt.
But yeah, right in the butt. Very uncomfortable.
I would have power bottomed the hell out of him.
But I go to the derm. You do that on separate.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you don't have the skin cancer. And then you go to the, what else you got? What is another specialist?
Oh, maybe a cardiologist
or maybe
something
a
that.
colon screening.
Sure.
I'm getting close to 50. Anyway, that's my new plan. And I'm sticking to it. So far, I love it. And then the doctors, the primary care doctors, they're a little disappointing in the U.S., man. They don't do that much. I don't like hey, I'm sick, prescribe me something. Get out of here with that.
Hey, in from the Vancouver Ford text line, Dwayne says, you look amazing,
yes.
Rob. Your face has never looked so healthy, even dating back to the Soul Patch
Hell
days.
yeah.
Your efforts are paying off.
That's my man, D. Wayne, right there. See, he gets it. I have never been healthier. I really haven't.
Stop kissing his ass, Dwayne.
Also on the list, top places people want open 24/7, post office.
Why?
Why
do you need your mail sent at night?
I agree with you.
FedEx and UPS aren't coming to pick that up.
I don't get that
the
one.
postal
True story.
The U.S. Postal Service, they certainly aren't taking trucks out at that point in time. Why?
Yeah, I don't get that one. Banks.
Again,
not really.
When's the last time you needed to make a bank transaction that couldn't wait till the morning?
Yeah, agreed with you. And then dentist. is on here. I don't know why that one either.
I guess that falls into the urgent care category, kind of, because I'm guessing the only person who wants a dentist open late is someone who has a dental emergency.
And then they've got auto shop mechanics on here. Again, don't need that either. So there you go.
Look at you.
The top places people want open 24/7. Some may say gyms. And I get that.
Yeah, and I feel like a bunch of these places, like a grocery store, like a gym, there are places that are open 24. They're just harder to find. It's not, an industry standard, but they can be found.
All right, we got to wrap it up, don't we? Are we done here?
Yeah, we do.
Damn, man. Show flew by. I bet the Foos, you think the Foos are on yet?
No, I do not.
Is it still the Pretenders?
Probably.
All right, we'll wrap up the show next on The Fan.
How's your t-shirt game set up for summer? Check out the Fan merch.
get you well enough. Get you
Yeah.
where you need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's always an ER.
At least they're there for you. And yeah, there's always
if
the
it's
ER.
serious and you need someone
That's right.
serious, go to an ER.
That's right. Somebody else said, boop, 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 boop. Oh, I work for hospitals. Urgent cares close. ER obviously does not. I thought those urgent cares. I guess that's true.
I feel like there are some that are 24 hours, but I don't believe that they all are.
Mm-hmm. My bad.
Yeah, what the hell are you thinking?
Somebody else said, what we've learned here is entitled Americans want anything and everything they might need to be open around the clock.
Yes,
Shocking.
Convenience me, please.
That's right. That's right. Why is it not? Hello. I used to live right next to a park, and trust me, 99% of the stuff that happened there after closing was not good and usually involved something illegal.
Yeah, it's not like just teenagers smooching. Like, it's if anyone's hanging out in a park.
You're right.
Like, late at night, like, you just don't.
You're right. That's probably right. Look, I'll stand down on that, but I'm a little Pollyanna. I think of it as teenagers smooching. Come on,
sure.
what could go wrong?
And I get that. The other thing, too, is who's enforcing it? It's not like they're putting up fences at 10 o'clock.
That's
like,
true, but don't they have security cruising through, and you're not supposed to be in there, and if you are, you might get ticketed.
The thrill of it,